Content warning. The following episode includes scenes and/or themes that may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. For a list of the topics, themes, and subject matter featured in this episode, please refer to the video description. Hello all and welcome! This is Dice of Ages, presenting CrestVahllen, the Argent Flame. I'm your not so humble dungeon... Oh,
game.
Messed it up already.
Game!
You're dungeon.
I'm your not so humble game master, TJ. And welcome to the new setup. We've got a bunch of new things now. We've got new cameras and a bunch of new setup, and you can see my face better, and hopefully you can see everybody else. We got new tables, we got new combat stuff, we've got some more cameras. We're streaming in hopefully 4K and possibly 2K. I think we're streaming in 2K, we're recording in 4K, but you know we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. We got a bunch of announcements we need to get through today, so sorry for that. But first and foremost, we wanted to thank all those creators out there, artists and composers, that allow us to make this cool game that we strive to make it in our standard of excellence and the quality that we want to make it for. So there's a list of ones. I'm going to get this wrong because it's the first time I'm doing this, but I did write this down so that I wouldn't mess it up. And of course, I don't have it pulled up on my phone right away because I was not prepared, as I usually am not. But here we go.
I mean, we're back from a break. It only makes sense
I know,
that we're
it's
not
been
ready
about
to go.
6 weeks.
In real life.
Right. So before we get started,
each other.
Yeah.
so I'd like to thank some artists that have given us their permission to do certain things and use their music and Creative Commons and everything. I'm going to try to do this in alphabetical order. So we have ASKII or ASCII. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it. We have Midnight Syndicate. We have Kevin McLeod, Fly By No, Celestial Aeon Project, Austin Wintry. Who am I missing? Oh, Will Savino. Jeremy Soule with his new album that came out not too long ago, the Northern Diaries, that he let everybody stream and Creative Commons play with and all that jazz. And more. We're working on... check out the description if you want to know more about these. We try to put as many links in there and information about them as possible in our description. If you want to know more, we're in the process of putting a card, CARRD.com or whatever it is, landing splash page, so you can find out more about them and to list all of the other veritable assortment of artists, albums, and songs there for you. We're still in the progress of getting all that together, so bear with us. But yes, thank you all so very much. And that's it for that for the moment. Moving on then, for general announcements before we start going around the round table, we have switched to new year, new phone, who dis, new schedule, who dis. We have switched to a new uploading schedule as far as when we were recording. You will not see the edited recording that we post back up on YouTube until 2 weeks after. Was that correct? Or are we still trying to get to that?
We're trying to get to a week after.
We're trying to get to the
the
following
week.
Right, so like a week and some change. So it used to be we would play on...
You would see these episodes Wednesday, like 3 days
Yeah,
from
you
now.
would see them like a handful of days later.
Now you won't see them. until
Now
the
we're
week
adding a week to that to give us time to, for our own sanity, to do some, like a buffer zone, because we have, if
Now
you
we
guys
have
haven't heard yet,
3 different campaigns.
we have 3 campaigns. We have C3 out there. So we're running 3 campaigns simultaneously. And we're trying to get the pre-recordings all caught up so that the live streams of it are going to be in a more orderly fashion and like one after the other. So if there's a live stream, a week and some change is when you're going to actually see the edited recording being posted up on YouTube. Having said that, then I forgot what I was going to say. Having said that, if you want early access to these videos, which we are in the process of trying to get fully down pat, but we are well on our way there, and we had started doing it before. Join our Patreon. You can be part of our Patreon at patreon.com/diceofages. It's just a handful of schmeckles a month, just a couple pennies in the bucket, but for us it means everything, and we love you. Thank you for doing it. And you can get early access to these videos as we try to churn them out as soon as possible. So as soon as we're done editing them, and as soon as they get scheduled up there, you, sweet patrons, get access to those videos, and you can watch them before everybody else gets public access to them. You also get access to things like the Burnt Ends, which is our post-talk sessions with the Argent Flame, and Gluten Talk, which are post-talk sessions with the Baker's Dozen. We are possibly working on maybe doing post-session talks with C3 too, but we're figuring that out. We're in the transition period. Lots of new tech, lots of new things to do. New music that is apparently playing two playlists at the same time. Wonderful.
New tech.
New stream deck, everything.
It's on you.
I am teaching myself how to code with if this then that, so that's fun.
Easiest part of code.
A couple of other cool surprises, guys, so stick around. You can tell we've got some cool white balance stuff and some new lighting, so we're really excited about that. Yep.
On the stream, it looks like I'm covered in flames, so we're good.
You picked the right seat.
Yeah.
I don't think you can
Galway
move.
over there.
We have to move you Argus dies, but other than that, I think that's the perfect spot for you.
Tchaikovsky, right at flame. Tchaikovsky or no, Stravinsky, right?
Stravinsky.
You're the music teacher. What is it?
No, I am so fried.
It's because you've been hanging out in the flames too long.
I'm really I have to get. I just have to say this. It doesn't have anything to do with the stream, but I have to say this because I'm really excited about it, and it will make me feel better. Is that there's a personal holiday coming up for me, and a sword was bought, and I am excited to put it on the wall.
If you need help getting into the hospital, let me know.
I'll be
We have other swords. We have other swords, but a sword was bought, and I am excited about putting it behind.
It may or may not have been a midnight purchase.
They-
We're not.
There's another word for those. How many bottles had you had at that point?
It was like 2 glasses of eggnog. It was fine.
I don't want to drink your egg.
Dice of Ages does not officially promote. Our official stance is do not drink and shop. That's not our. Don't do that.
Unless
Online
it's your Etsy
shopping
shop.
is not a good idea. What?
Yes.
Unless it's the Etsy shop.
Etsy shop. Unless
Yes.
it's our Etsy shop. Segue! We now have a sister shop up. We have a little printer's farm, a 3D printing farm that we print out called Prince of Ages. I run it myself, all on my lonesome. We have a bunch of 3D printers, both resin and FDM, that we turn out some really cool stuff. Specifically right now from like miniature land, and we got some cool terrain and buildings. I paint them handmade if you'd like them painted, and ship them to you. Orders over $35 get free shipping. So go ahead and check out Etsy.com/Prince of Ages and get some cool stuff. You'll see some. I've already got quite a few orders. It's turning out pretty well. I have some cool colored versions of pictures and videos. So anything you see on there that is painted, I did that myself. So you get an idea as the kind of quality and the standard of excellence that we will do. Only accept here at this.
Live up to.
Yeah, sure. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, so
We
Prince of
need to
Ages.
leave. There's a standard of excellence now.
I'm gonna pull my. Do I have a card?
Here, I'll do it for you.
No.
It's now triggered.
So, we are segueing into the professional streaming world. We don't know about our plans, if at all, to either migrate or also have additional Twitch. I know they have like some sort of like rule as far as you can't have a stream or a recording is like within 48 hours if it's the same one on another system. Right? I
That-
don't fully understand.
I don't believe that's part of the rule because I've watched Twitch live streams with both Critical Role and YouTube
Well, Critical
at the
Role
same
has their
time.
own actual like I believe
Agreement
their own-
with them?
Well, we shouldn't be talking.
Yeah,
about
anyway,
the stream
anyway,
on the
we'll
stream.
move it away from
But
that.
yeah. Anyway, still love you guys though. So
I've seen a few.
I
but
think
yeah,
that's
I get
it. I'm sorry, I am a little scatterbrained, but we want to get into it. So without further ado, let's go around the table and we're going to introduce everybody. I know it's been like 6 weeks and some change. I hope you guys thought of one-liners.
I did today, and it was great.
About
Someone did.
about 20 seconds ago, but sure.
So people are in. So we have new tables, so people are in different spots. Do you guys want to try to do it in the same order we did before? Or do you guys just want to go around and do it clockwise?
Sounds like
Bleep
a
no.
lot, actually.
Clockwise.
Okay, cool. So we'll just go. So Noel, go ahead.
I'm Noelle. Today I'll be playing Thresheni Ankmut, the jackal person, Ma'itan, weapon dancing wizard. And you know, I'm one with the faceless, and the faceless are one with me.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I play Cole Votison, the Lower College Bard and Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, and I would like to say,
Still stunned there, buddy. Oh no.
All right.
That was a long.
Well, to be fair, we ended on me still stunned, so
Yes.
Oh, I should have kept that map. Okay.
that's on you.
I'm Cody, and I play our bugbear warlock, Log Jamming.
Okay. Here we go.
And recently, I found myself inside myself, and I know what you're thinking, and it's fucking disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourselves, you perverts.
Gross.
I thought you found the Mind Fortress, man. Where are you going?
How is it like you get so close to a truly like enlightened moment, and then you just fall off?
I mean,
the
that's
wall?
Log's great.
that's-
I mean,
that's Log.
that's just
It's like
completely.
Goku being this close to the edge of Snake Way and then just falling asleep.
He actually spends 2 weeks thinking about his answer,
I'm
unlike the rest of us.
This time I had a long time to.
I'm like so proud, but also so upset.
I'm Kenton. I play our dwarf priest of primeval fire, and with our powers combined, we are purple.
What? What happened? What did I
Me and Ermgrim,
Yeah.
when we destroyed it, we became purple.
Red and blue
Yeah.
make purple.
Yeah.
We created a
flames
fun
combined.
purple fire to destroy.
It was really cool.
It was a great theatrical moment.
Color theory. Our campaign has been reduced to color theory. Go ahead.
Says the artist / music teacher.
Right.
Right?
I feel like that needs to be a T-shirt though. It just needs to be Ermgrim and you like
High five. And
Yeah.
like chibi versions of you high-fiving. No, doing the fusion, like DBZ fusion,
Yeah.
and then you just are both big open mouth, and it just says purple and bubble letters right below it. I thought that
I
would
think you just
land a little better, but that's
decided
okay.
our first piece of merchandise.
fun purple haze.
I'm Adam.
Oh, purple haze. That's
There you
good.
go.
Sorry.
I play Zemdak, our gnome artificer on the team. Tinkerer. We've been so busy lately. I feel like realistically I would have tinkering withdraw. So I'm eager to get some downtime.
Yes.
We just spent a day before learning how to make artificial arms, dude. What do you mean?
That was only
I didn't
yesterday.
actually get to make any.
We haven't even used the mobile
Yeah,
forge
we've had this
yet.
mobile forge for like
Dude,
weeks.
not, like, yeah.
I gotta get my whip back.
I know. It's kind of been like minor crisis to major crisis to minor crisis to major crisis. and minor,
or
yeah.
traveling or
Yeah.
Right.
Literally started that
Yeah,
way from when we
welcome
first got
to
like,
my world. This is how the world sucks. Well, the world's cool, but things suck.
This group has never had more than like 2 days where they're not doing something actively.
Yeah. And last but certainly not least.
My name is Demetrius, and I play Eleazar, the Paladin Drakish, and Drakash. 280.
Nice.
Nice, man. Making me the fat
An
kid.
inspiration to be sure.
And ever since Eleazar's release, he's been going through a lot of spiritual and emotional changes. And you will be able to see some of those coming up real soon.
That's great to hear. I'm really excited for
Yeah.
you. We
wanna
talked a little bit. I'm very excited. I'm a little giddy schoolboy. But
That
okay.
worries me.
In a good way.
With death.
No, in a terrifying way.
I got a new toy, and it's called TPK.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Set all
That
this
price
up
was
just for that.
that was too expensive.
Hi guys,
dust
I don't-
welcome to
definitely
level 8.
a saver.
Dead.
Welcome to level 8. I don't like your party anymore. Make new characters.
I don't want to play with you anymore. So, I think that's it. I think that's it. Anybody else have any announcements we need to get through?
I mean, other than to wish Demetrius a belated happy birthday.
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah,
about
happy,
it.
happy birthday. There you go. And there's somebody else that's coming up soon, isn't it?
This
yeah,
one,
Kevin. I was
right?
gonna say yeah. So early birthday for Kevin. I think it's in like
I think it'll be the Thursday before our next session, actually.
yeah. So happy birthday to you. Early birthday to you. We will be at GenghisCon this year. If you guys are in the Colorado area or near Denver, we will be at GenghisCon. I believe. Does anybody know what like actual township it's in?
It's in Aurora.
It's in Aurora.
It's at the Aurora Hyatt.
It's in Aurora. For all you stalkers out there, please don't. No, never mind. I take that back. Edit that out, please. So
The Aurora Hyatt, is that Chambers and
You should
I-70?
put TJ's room
giving
underneath for
them
all
our
his stalkers.
location to be.
That's just
Saying, like,
Genghis Khan.
if you want to find, that's true. I
No.
mean, I'm
Republic
telling you, we're going to
Con.
be there. I don't know why I was.
That's not like.
It's February.
Choose out for you, TJ.
My home
by the way,
address.
Yeah.
In case you want to
So
come.
it's the 23rd through the 26th.
So GenghisCon in the Colorado area in Aurora, the 23rd to the 26th of February. We will be there. We won't have a booth, but I will be playing. Personally, I'll be playing in the GUI Cube showcase with Luke Gygax, and we'll be doing other things. And if you see us around, flag us down. We'd love to talk to you if you guys want to have something to say. We're always there for any questions or just to hang if you guys want. So yeah, if you haven't gotten tickets yet, get your tickets at I think it's
Gamer Girl. something
Yeah,
like
it's
that?
Gamer Girl.
Yeah.
Gamer Girl or Colorado Events or something like that.
It's
or-
Gamer Girl's the website for signing up for everything. And
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You can get your
And make sure you leave
badges
some
there, too.
games for us if we haven't signed up for stuff yet. You know?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff to the thing. Oh, check out. I heard there's a really cool game called Athia. You should probably check out too. If you have a chance to
Yeah.
check out. It's called ATHIA. You should check it out. Wow, it's pretty cool. I think that's it.
Think, TJ, think. Dead air's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, this kind of smells
I'm
like
s-
wires burning. Slow down.
Wait, what?
No.
Oh, Jesus. We got a new computer, and he's the one
That's-
that put it together, and now.
I would have
you were
gone with
being
toast, man.
facetious
You
about
know?
my brain.
Yeah.
Overheating.
It's the lamp all over again with the incense.
Exactly.
That happened so many times.
It was always behind me though, so it was just great.
It was just ambiance.
And now you have
Honestly, yeah. It was great. Like, you just
have
had all this
old-
smoke coming up behind your head. Yeah. Awesome.
Oh man. Okay. So without further ado, I suppose, do you guys want to play some games?
Yeah.
All right. So
I
let's
mean,
get
that's
into
why
it.
I'm here.
This has been 2023. Hi. Okay.
Hi, 2023.
Hi. Great.
And not that.
Happy New Year, guys, by the way. Since we didn't
New
say that
Year,
before.
Happy holidays,
Happy New
all that
Year.
good stuff. We are going to
February.
Right.
pause
That's all right.
this.
Cookies
You
are
know.
next month or next week. Like
I'm going to pause this.
Oh, that reminds me. I need
Pull
to
up
talk
some
to you
stuff.
so I can get that set up.
yep, I can already take orders.
That's what I saw from other people online. So I was like, oh, I need to talk to Kenton.
Oh, and I have a button that can do
Granted,
the thing.
I know who you get all your cookies from, but
I'm the manager of it.
oh, are you the man? I used to work with somebody whose wife was the head of like
hope it
the
doesn't get
Denver
too
area, so she gets all the cookies and then he hands it out from there.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so a lot happened last time, so let's see if I can do this. Ready, no scope. Here we go.
All right, who's ready for the
I hope
backtrack?
this works.
And crash.
No. Come on, little stream deck. You can do it.
I think it worked. Oh yeah, okay. So the victors celebrate among the crowd and upon the shoulders as Argus, Cole, and Eleazar gather around the deceased bandit-like individual from the Vogel team. Cole attracts a crowd as Argus revives the unfortunate soul in a spectacle honoring Clan Carrig Stoneworm. Log and the others join the crowd as Chiron capitalizes on the attention with a rousing stump speech. The gang head back to the quarry's qualm as Argus sends to Ermgrim, learning of a tall woman in pink armor that is associated with Klaxon Vogel. Via Onkealine comm, the troop learn that the last trial has yet to be scheduled, not aligning with their full moon and eclipse timeline. The allies devise a plan to sway public opinion with flyers at tavern speeches, new clan emblems, and whisper campaigns. Zemdak receives a message from a scoop that they have successfully destroyed 2 idols that a being known as the False Wave and or Yitzglotl may be involved. The uttering of this strange word causes Log to enter a catatonic state in which 2 entities, one of black ichor and one of musculature and eyes, enter conflict within his dream space. A cocktail injection and a lucid dream desire awake Log from his stupor. After some light shopping, Cole gives a great speech, and the propaganda-like plan is seemingly successful, as a large riot-like crowd occupies the area around the Fang, clamoring for Carrig Stoneworm. The party rests for the night, and Log gains a friend in the form of a copy of himself that now occupies his dreamscape, now assigned to building a protective mind fortress. Awakening on the 33rd of Hylock, the group speak with the now cogent mercenary that Argus revived, half his form still under the control of Onkealine. Learning his name is Guy, the band contract him into protecting Chiron for the foreseeable future. The party head for the Fang, accompanied by a disguised Caladoran, by a disguised, smooth-handed, full-mooned, god-worshipping spies adorned with the new brand of Clan Carrig Stoneworm. I'm doing my best. Megara speaks. Megara speaks. Meets with the entourage among the crowd and ushers them inside the estate where all 4 representatives meet with Lord Logren Stoneworm. Logren has a private chat with the clan leaders before escorting all present deep underground beyond a sentient stone door known as the Arbiter, into a vaulted chamber that drops off into the seemingly endless abyss. Inside the chamber are large dwarven statues seemingly similar to the Razorfang sentinels that Logren commands. They animate and activate the chamber, lighting the way and causing a rotating walled circular platform to ascend from the abyss. Logren states that only those who wish to undergo the trial may go further, but others may wait here or beyond the bars among the Arbiter's threshold, where it may be safer. All but the party double back, and Zemdak courageously or foolishly volunteers to undergo the trial. The clan leaders and Zemdak are transported to a barred chamber on the other side via the rotating platform, and enter to find a large illithid skull upon an altar made of dwarven skulls. Zemdak volunteers to don the skull helmet first, but Megara forces him to acquiesce, donning it herself. After a pregnant pause, the Herak clan leader suddenly goes catatonic and collapses, her eyes now milky and devoid of anything but white. Meg is tended to and sent back to the rest of the party, who are anxiously waiting on the other side of the chamber. In the moment before Zemdak places the skull upon his head, he wishes Trisheni love and bids her farewell. Gizmo's sense of reality distorts as the skull helmet causes him to hallucinate his own cerebration. Yes, cerebration. Yes, that's when you move your head by the hands of a tentacled, a upright cephalopod creature. But he survives. Unfortunately, Armand Mortanic collapses upon his aberrant adornment, alive, but just. Boots begins to hear voices inside his mind, closing in, before a portal opens up in the skull chamber and several illithids step through. The squid-like humanoid aberrations quickly gain dominion over the clan representatives, alerting the rest of the party to the distress. Several party members are left stunned by the illithid's mental supremacy, leaving the gang in dire straits. In a risky gamble, Zemdak tosses catalyst dust into the still undulating portal, changing its color and losing several faceless upon the denizens of the chamber. Some attack the mind flayers while others aid the group in unorthodox fashions. With the tide turning, Klaxon attempts to escape, but is halted by Pernua just before the nightmarish creatures are vanquished. The threat now abated, Ermgrim, Logren, Chiron, and Argus have a poignant moment before the two flame keepers incinerate the large mind flayer skull together. When red flame and blue flame unite to create a beautiful violet purple flame. In the wake of this exhausting battle, we find our heroes. Welcome back to CrestVahllen.
I get so much better timing that after having timed myself to it.
It's weird. It's in a weird meter. So when I was first doing it, it took me like 40 times of listening to it before I finally realized where the drop was.
Oh yeah, no, I had to practice for a half an hour before I got it for the one shot.
Just in case you missed it, Zemdak did scoop up all of that
Oh,
ash.
yeah. So he's got more catalyst
he didn't
dust.
say it, but he emotioned.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
for sure. That's the thing.
I
Oh,
would
and
not be surprised.
I did forget, but I cannot say last, but most certainly not least, I have to give the most hearty thanks to Red Sky Phenomenon and Adam Canham for our use of all of their music and to be our theme music. I want to give a big shout out to them. Check them out on Spotify. Check them out on Bandcamp. They're amazing. They make some really, really cool music. Thank you,
They're dope.
Adam.
You are awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes. You've been with us from the beginning. And
Been with
shout out
us.
to my what do you call them? The
OG?
no, yeah, you're the OG.
I mean, which word are you trying to think
Right.
about right now?
the like when you had like only 5 subscribers and they were the ones that were there.
Yeah, OG.
No, it's okay, whatever.
OS, fine.
Okay, you're fine.
Original
OS.
subscriber.
Original subscriber.
Think of operating
great.
system, and I'm like, I don't want the original OS.
Okay. So, we're going to do something manual real quick just to make sure that we have this done correctly. And So,
Came back.
Oh, I know.
You are all-
but I did.
so in the wake of all this, I think just do a quick recap, and for my sanity, your sanity, and all of our memories, some of the last things that you guys witnessed were, one, Klaxon trying to flee, making his way to the bar just barely, but being skewered in the hamstring by Pernua's spear, and then Pernua walking up to him and putting him within an inch of death, but knowing that somebody else wanted that privilege.
Didn't we have somebody sitting outside the bars too?
Standing outside the bars
They left.
One of his bodyguards.
in pink full plate armor. I believe it was pink armor, wasn't it?
I
Or no,
believe
it was just
It
full
was
plate.
it was just full
Just
plate.
full plate armor, but extremely tall.
We had a strong suspicion.
Yeah.
That's who that was.
Who was reaching through the bars because of things that you have seen happen before to pull Klaxon out, and Klaxon wasn't able to make it. And so the individual just kind of nonchalantly aborted that plan, turned around, and just kind of waved a subtle toodaloo as they stepped back up into the darkness.
I mean, I know we didn't see it, but am I the only one that can totally see Tiffany in pink armor?
I don't think so. I think they're just in plate.
I know.
I don't think it's actually pink.
I know, but when you said pink armor, I was like, I could totally see Tiffany in pink armor. Like, it just made sense to me.
Absolutely.
No,
That's how she was described.
None of
before.
you did.
I know.
The shade
But we just never saw
that stuff. Remember? Because
Yeah. We've never met her. Well, no, we did meet
no,
her.
we saw
but-
the painted mini, but we didn't actually.
Yeah.
She got to where we were fighting right as we.
No, she was.
We've never
She
seen any
didn't-
piece of her.
Yeah. You've actually. So you
We've
what-
heard about her.
So
got
you
there, right?
all. So you don't even. So let's be
We've
real clear
heard-
about like the players have some suspicions. The characters would have no
we don't know
way
shit.
of knowing who that is. Us, you could still have their suspicions, but never have met this person, have no frame of reference except for knowing what the shade looks like.
Well,
And-
Shade said her name. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
And,
The only two-
and she told us that she was terrifying.
Also,
to
the
her.
other two Ken and Rye you've met are the Shade and the Shadow.
Right.
And remember,
We
the
watched
Shadow
the Shadow
was
get
killed
Killed.
with the help of the Shade.
Yes.
If you remember.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so
was she killed for sure, or did we just
Yeah, no,
get
we
rid of her
killed
leg?
her.
Okay.
Or she
there
killed
were
her.
a lot of pieces of her pulled apart.
Yeah, I only remember her losing her legs. So that's good to
Random
know.
legs
No.
and such.
But
We watched the Shade kill
you
the
could
Shadow.
see. Yeah. Well, yeah. Remember that. Oh no, that body was teleported back.
Yeah, she doesn't have her leg anymore. She could still show up and like fuck us over.
I could call her.
So,
Hey, Adam and I know how to deal with her mechanical leg if she has one.
if I also remember correctly, Klaxon was dragged back to where the skull chamber was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And laid at the mercy, brought low and laid at the mercy of Ermgrim, who had a coming to Emberlord moment.
I like that one.
Overlord.
And felt the gaze of you around him and felt the influence of Argus, and if I remember correctly, spared him and said the
He did Logren. He spared Logren, not
Yeah.
Klaxon.
is Klaxon dead?
No, Klaxon's the one. He's like in an inch of his life.
Oh, so you're right. They haven't got, so Klaxon
No.
hasn't been moved yet. Correct.
He
It's
saved-
been a while. I'm
he
sorry.
saved Logren.
Yeah, because Logren was recognized as one of the individuals that was there when
Four flames.
those horrible things happened to his sister, and was part of that heinous group of mercenaries that was
He
doing
still
it.
hasn't told anyone else but me.
That's true.
You wanted to kill me when I tried to stop him.
Ermgren said something along the
I know
lines
that much.
of,
We know he wants to kill Clax.
And I
but
told
not.
Eleazar that it's for revenge. So, like, I don't know how
Yeah.
much you guys like. There's a lot that can be pieced.
yeah,
together.
yeah. I do remember Ermgrim saying something like, "Well,
He said-
a quick death is too good for you. You should live in the misery of knowing what it
You
is
don't
you
get to
did.
redeem yourself
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
martyr.
You
You
is
don't
what
get to
he
redeem
said.
yourself as a martyr. You have to live like where people say
great
the
lines.
best
You
revenge
know.
is a life well lived.
Yep.
It's the exact opposite for him. It's like the best revenge for me is for you to live in continued misery and guilt,
And I was like,
I know a
fitting.
hero like that.
Yeah.
and in exile. So I believe Ermgrim made a request to Chiron. Should Chiron take the mantle?
He used to be the emissary to the Underdark, or the down below. I don't know if that one's
The deep under.
under.
I like that one.
Way
Let's
down
keep the deep
under.
under.
The deep under.
Land down under.
It's the deep under. Yeah?
We might need to check that one though.
Well, figure it out. Come on, some stuff. We're coming. We've got some
We're
things that
things
we're
out.
Yeah.
messing around
Everybody
with.
starts talking about and some Vegemite and stuff. You know?
I mean, we had kind of sold Carrick Stoneworm because I can't remember his first name. right
That's
now.
his punishment.
Chiron.
He has to eat.
Yeah, Chiron on doing that with him too, of making him
Yeah.
that emissary. So
He's
Yeah.
gonna listen to us whenever we tell him
That's
to
his
do it.
punishment. He has to eat an entire jar of Vegemite in one sitting.
If you've ever
And
had
so-
Benjamin,
he's gonna have a kidney stone that night.
And even though he's a dwarf, he's not resistant
mean,
to Vegemite.
Resistant to salt poisoning.
that stuff is salty as shit.
Yeah.
He may not have a kidney stone. He may just die.
It's like
The salt in there
it's
was
like a
10%
soy
lower
sauce
than a
reduction.
legal
It's
dose.
like really pasty.
You know,
I tried it for the
People
first
love
time.
it.
I was like, oh, I'll just put it like cream cheese, and I was like, oh. After my first bite, I was like, I need a gallon of water. Anyway, I'm sorry, we're not playing the game.
Oh, we're playing a game? I didn't realize that. Okay, let's play.
So, last we left off was the ceremony in which you incinerated. There was like this flash when your two flames became one, and it was you purple. It was purple together.
I think that's where we ended,
The skull, this like several-eyed skull of kind of like a cephalopod humanoid skull, just kind of fell to the dust.
The trial.
Very like snap, end game style.
We've changed the city.
trial.
The
Yeah,
trial
the symbol
can't
of the
happen the
trial
way
is
it happens
gone.
anymore.
Yeah.
Well, the third trial's gone.
Right.
So let's recap who is actually still in the room and who's still alive. If I remember, I don't think anybody died.
Surprisingly.
No.
I don't think anybody did.
yeah, thanks to the faceless
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, by the way,
and your armistice.
by the way, there's a
Yeah.
huge
That
thank
was
you that I
like-
have to put out to everybody plus the faceless, since Cole probably should have died.
Right. So here's the deal.
the coaster was major.
The coaster,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is really cool. We just turned the beginning of this episode into an episode of Burn Ants.
Yeah.
But
It's been 6 weeks, guys.
yeah, it's been 6 weeks.
We have to.
Was
keep
it
that.
Megara
Megara
played or
Hirak
6
and the
weeks since
Mortanic
Herak.
Herak and
Oh,
the
God.
Mortanic
Then
air.
it's
I think
like
it's-
2 months.
Are both
Yeah, I think it's
But
actually been 8
Megara
weeks
is
since the
back.
last
Wait,
session.
no. Wait, hold on. One person at a time, please.
Are both catatonic.
But Megara's
Armand-
back at the gates.
Megara Herak and Armand Mortanic. Armand Mortanic was the
Yeah.
more mage
Correct.
persuasion.
Yeah, they're
dwarf.
both.
And he's just.
They're
kinda
both
sitting
unconscious, but they got
on our
stabilized, if I
on the
remember.
side. We just kind of threw him. We didn't take him back. He's still over here, but
Right,
Megara's
because
back.
the bartender's armistice the coaster got thrown down, stabilized everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
And nobody got hit again.
Correct.
And then the portal changed its destination
Yes.
and then let loose the faceless.
Correct.
And the faceless,
The friendly faces.
this was interesting. What you had noticed that the faceless, in recognizing these human cephalopods,
flipped out.
immediately became persona non grata, public enemy number one, and they focused all their attention on them.
Yes.
I don't think I even saw any of the faceless. Because of the way I was stunned and I was back, like the whole. I don't think we even saw it.
I don't think Cole did either.
Most
I'm
of you
pretty
guys
sure
got
Cole came
sort of
out,
trapped.
fired off a firebolt, and went, "Where are the illithids? Where?"
So I'll say, yeah. So one of the things that did happen is that some of you that were there noticed that who knows why, and in the weirdest thing, and it's a situation you've never seen before, that some of these faceless entered and like fused beings. Dispersed themselves into almost what felt like pure energy, and then infused themselves into you. Trisheni, with the closest tie with them, fully was imparted knowledge, magic, and power in the middle of combat. Others of you were reconnected with some arcane reserves and some health. What a fucking clutch move.
It was amazing.
It was great. Thank
Zemdak
you.
had 2 clutch moves.
That's like a
one
dust of
throwing the powder in the
deliciousness
portal.
Yeah,
and the armistice.
coaster.
And then
Yeah.
being the one to
Oh my
actually put the skull on, too. That was the third.
And survive.
And
They
survive.
were, they were both really big gambles too, because that was your last catalyst dust, and that was a one-time use coaster, and now it's gone.
But it still was necessary.
Wild. Sorry, this is just burnt ends apparently.
It's
Great.
It's
Well,
been 2 months. We need to
We
recharge.
literally just did a bit of the math. It's actually been 8 weeks since the last time we were together playing
Argent Flame.
Argent Flame.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Argent Flame has been 8 weeks, so it's been 2 months.
I'm gonna grab
This
this.
is why.
Great. So, well, not so great.
Hey, this is still shorter than our first stream.
So
one.
that's the scene around you.
Everybody else is still alive.
Yep.
Two
Yeah,
of the
the
original
people who
point.
are unconscious yet stable,
Correct.
including Klaxon.
Yes. Klaxon was skewered on Pernua's spear, but he's still
Is he
alive.
technically? I guess. I didn't know because of the Revenant stuff if it's.
Wait. What are the illithits? Does somebody? What's going on?
I'm gonna turn to Ermgrim and go, "What's mine is mine." That was the end of the prophecy. Kosuth now has. You are now a part of of the Fire Lord. Nice face.
He looks at you. He's like, he furrows his brow pretty hard, and he feels like he's deep in thought, almost like looking for a way out. And then shakes his head, and then
It's fun. Don't worry about it.
In the background, Boots is below them, like sweeping up the ashes from the skull into a little bag.
clean up, everybody,
I'm gonna use that later for something.
Yeah.
So are there still illicit bodies
Conk is,
left?
is
Conk's
holding.
gone.
Conks.
Oh, Conk's down,
Yeah.
yeah. Is Conk destroyed?
No,
we
he's
gotta
just
use
broken.
repair.
Okay.
I've got to mend him.
Repair.
I mean, Cole will start healing the people that are down.
We already did that.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Then I don't have
I
anything
don't think
to do.
anybody's like. There are people that are unconscious yet stable.
I'm in single digits, but
Yeah.
I think
I
everybody's
used the
like.
healing word. Yeah, no, it was about-
Everybody
Yeah.
looks pretty bad. Not all of your, most of your injuries are not physical. I'll say, each and every one of you have, like, thick crimson leaking from your ears and from your nose, and some have a few burst blood vessels in your eyes, and can taste pennies in your mouth. There's definitely some internal bleeding going on.
Zemdak, 6 points from healing word.
There's still a couple illicit bodies, right? Or at least 2 are still there.
I
I
believe.
took a soul of one, and there was another. Yeah.
I'm going to collect hands.
Did any? No, nothing got back through the portal.
I'm going to
No.
collect
Oh,
it.
they
One
went
got
back.
shoved.
They got back through the portal. It just
One
wasn't
got
their portal.
pulled back.
Yeah.
So I believe,
No, I think they got blown up
The one got
because the
pushed
faceless
in, the
dove
one
into
got-
them
and they,
Yep.
like full like Neo diving into to Agent Smith style in the Matrix.
Splat.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure you pushed one back in and
Yeah.
banished
Okay.
another.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and the one that got banished is
Banished
to
not
the
from
other.
this realm, so
Yes.
they're just gone.
Well,
Yep.
he got banished to the wrong realm because of the event horizon.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It was
much.
great. It was
This
great.
So there may be
combat was
one body.
The dopest.
There may be one body laying around.
There's
but
two.
that's-
Depending on where you were
Whichever
sitting.
body's there, I'm collecting hands.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I believe there are.
That's why I listened to it.
I believe from. I'm just gonna make an executive decision. I believe there were 2 bodies that were corporeal enough to be done something with. One of them you harvested the soul with, and then the body just decayed and withered away and
So
just
there's just the
dust and
There's
nothing.
just the monk guy left.
right, muscle brain boy. You want to chop off his hands?
I want some monk fists. Yeah.
Okay. you just start hear the squelching and snapping of tendons and bones as he's slowly.
Is there any new catalyst dust from the faceless that
You-
sacrificed
There were a
themselves?
lot.
You were gonna get one, I believe, because Trishani's doing fabricate to make a tuning fork.
Yep. That's the plan.
That's correct. There were
I try and look for like a tentacle or
based
an
off
eyeball.
rolls and stuff.
the ones that dove into the cephalopods, the cephalopod humanoids. There's no dust left from them because it took everything to just vaporize pretty much everything. Those that first turned themselves into pure energy before fusing with individuals of the party, those did leave behind catalyst dust because they basically did some sort of rite of sacrifice to doff their corporeal physicality and then become
Yeah, so Trisheni was using some of it to attune
Based on the
Well,
rolls
I
that were
will.
last,
Yeah.
he was getting 1, and she was.
I
Had
think
enough
3 of
to
you
take
got benefits, didn't you? 3 of you did. It
She's
was Trisheni. Someone
Log.
you got spell slots back.
Yeah.
And then
I got shit.
somebody else got something.
It has to be one of those 3 because
Was
did
it
anybody
Zemdak?
else
Was
on
an
this
NPC.
table?
I think it was Zemdak.
I think it was Zemdak.
It was
No, you
Zemdak,
weren't.
I
You were
believe.
you were available before I
Because
was.
you rolled for it. You rolled an Arcana check.
Yes, you did.
I remember you rolled an Arcana check and you didn't do too hot,
It just
Right,
healed
and you were upset about it.
Yeah, so it just healed me.
Or you give you all your spell slots back. One of those 2. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's 3.
That could be it.
There's 3.
Because I don't have any used.
Yeah.
So there's a lot happening right now. You guys are in like a bit shell shock mode, but still adrenaline's really high, so you have to keep yourself occupied. So you guys are doing things like sweeping up dust. Zemdek in his purity form is fully in that mode of like, I don't have to accept reality if I can just focus on the thing that I have to do, and I can fix it. I can fix
Yeah.
it. I can do the thing.
I'll help Zemdak sweep up some dust, and I'll go over to him, smack him, and then immediately hug him and
In
be
the
like,
face?
just like back of the head, like
Oh.
you fucking brilliant idiot. Why'd you do that? But still awesome, and then give him a big hug too.
Your goggles come down onto your head.
I survived it.
I know. That's why like you're brilliant, but like, fuck, that was dangerous.
I was the only one.
I know. It's
Zemdek,
Difference between intelligence and wisdom.
so your goggles pop onto your head, and she smacks you in the back of the head.
Okay.
No, you don't even need to roll because that's just what happens. This is perfect role playing. As you look up at her, there's like vapor coming off of her form, of like that like in between kind of staticky vapor that you got from things that were not of
Yeah.
like things that you could really understand.
You're smoking.
what?
You feeling all right?
'Cause those are your like detect magic goggles.
Really great, actually. Like I just accepted the faceless and.
One of them.
Yeah, no, I recognized that they were the good, faceless, and
just-
yeah, they're with me.
Have
Why?
any new voices in your head?
There's no new voices.
Okay.
Just Lammy and I, They're
Voices on
usual.
new ones.
Yeah.
We should
Somebody's got voices.
We should be careful when we sleep tonight because there's a lot going on.
They pulled some black shit out of my head.
So they did
Do
good
you
things.
feel any different about the
Good
black
things.
shit that
I
got
feel
pulled out of your head?
Yeah, I've got some ideas now for some new
Zemdek, please
things.
roll a perception check for me. 13. If you remember with like the concept of like Gestalt space, so there's something. It seems like there's, that there's something there because you know where it's like not, and it's almost like superimposed onto her. Like when she moves, and it almost is kind of like the Necromunda from like Riddick about how the thing your like soul or your essence moves, and then your body catches up with it in like bullet time. It's kind of like that. She's almost has the slightest after image to her as she turns, and it's not like the ghost representation of her or she's moving faster than the frame rate of your eyes can catch. It's a different form. It's like it's not hound snouted.
Have you
It's
ever
more
seen Johnny
humanoid
Darko?
base.
There's a tendril leading her where she's going to be.
Kind of like that, but you don't. She's not walking or moving or anything like that. You just get that slight
Shadow. Like
moving faster than the frame rate kind of
physical echo.
after image. Yeah, physical echo, but it's more of ethereal echo. And the reason why you're able to see it right now is because your goggles are on. Your goggles are not like turned on, but they're on. So just the lenses that are tuned to that kind of stuff. I want to be very specific when I say this because you only catch the very very smallest glimpse of it.
Shimmer of it.
This kind of shimmer. The only reason why you can too is because it's not the same outline as her. Like it's not a hound snout. It is a different. It's not.
Is it a faceless?
Could be. It's
Okay.
hard to tell.
Too quick for me to.
Too
catch it.
yeah.
Okay. Log said that they pulled some stuff out of his head, so I'm gonna like walk over to him and like kneel down really quick, and I'm gonna examine
Log's head.
his head,
Because
see if there's
they
anything.
pulled the ichor out of my head.
See if there's anything funky.
Oh,
going on.
right.
Yeah.
From. Oh my God! Remind me.
From the Y name.
Right.
That's not allowed to be said.
Right.
Because you were having that like internal struggle thing. When.
When the faceless came and went into him, it pulled.
Right.
ichor.
It like expelled it. Right. God, there's so much. I should have
It was
rewatched
very
the
crazy.
episode.
Yeah.
I don't watch my own show.
There's a lot. There's a lot
We don't watch our own
going
show.
on. I watched it. This is why I have the
Good for
kills.
Thank you.
Group historian is what we're going to name you right now.
She takes notes. I rewatched it.
Yeah.
I didn't have that memory.
So yes,
Sitting next to the note taker now.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Log stops what he's doing. I think he still is like chipping away at.
I mean, because I'd already be
hands.
down on the ground.
Yeah,
doing
he just turns his head
hands off.
sideways,
So yeah,
but
like
he's still
I crawl
chipping.
up on his back,
Yeah.
peel
Yeah,
through the
perfect.
fur a little bit.
Sure. I mean, there's blood. There's a lot of blood kind of starting
No
to
smoke,
cake into the furry.
No ichor.
Nothing you see from your goggles.
With the you want to activate the goggles?
Yes.
You using a spell slot to do so, or do you want to do it ritually? It'll take 10
Ritually.
minutes. All right. So you're on his back for 10 minutes.
I won't do it while I'm on his back. I'll do it and then crawl on.
Okay.
But like I want to take a look around the room and see what else is
Sure.
going on.
I mean, you won't be able to do anything else when you're doing your
Yeah.
ritual, obviously. But yeah, I'd say we'll get to that
okay.
because but I do have a question though. You can do because I'm trying to get an idea of what everybody's doing at this time. Are you collecting dust or are you ritually casting?
I was collecting dust to help
We
him, but
collected our
then-
dust.
Yeah.
And then I saw her.
Okay, it's not just easy to collect this stuff. This stuff is in the grout of the old ancient stone.
Can't
This
be
is
helping
like
to cast
something
your
that you
spell.
guys have to take pains.
cast
You're trying to collect enough dust to actually be
yet.
used.
Yeah.
Get that.
And because it's so spread about, it's like trying to connect very, very, very fine sand
Okay.
from flagstone.
Then I won't. We won't do that.
Okay. I'm just trying to get because
That's
all
fine.
of this is going to take time.
I
I'm just
noticed-
trying to establish a timeline.
Just a flicker, I noticed what happened to her. But
Yeah.
we're too busy collecting dust to worry about anything.
Yeah, I'll let you know when like you're
I'm
done
fine
with
with
that because that's going to take a while
fine
because
with
some even after like doing a past cursory sweep, you realize this isn't enough for like a single dose, and you start pulling out your calipers and start picking up single grains of catalyst dust and
Yep.
start like putting it on the mound, very like sand mandala style. So great. You're cutting hands. You two are collecting dust. Here's what I will say. I want one of you to roll a investigation check at advantage because you guys are helping each other do the same thing. So just one of you do it. Whoever's leading the
expertise.
collection.
Yeah.
Then that.
Well, you were doing it. And she was helping you. So.
Mm-hmm.
23.
23. So, with your minds combined, you realize that there is enough dust here to create what it is that you mean to create with fabricate. Oh God, that was a lot of poetry. However, it's going to take 2 doses to do so, at the very least. I will say at the end of when you finish doing this, which takes a little less time because you guys do a really good job, you find 3. So in order to do this, you're going to have to try this spell. And if it doesn't go well, you could have to use all of it. And if it goes really poorly, all of it could be used and still not enough. That make sense?
Yeah. Is this just because of the nature of the material?
You're so essentially this is you can absolutely do what it is that you want to do with the spell. It's about the actual how much material there is.
That's fair.
Catalyst dust is inherently extremely low density. which is one of the reasons why it defies gravity when it's acted upon by another force, i.e., an active well wall. To much the point that strong as it may be, the magnetism or whatever force it is that acts upon it and that causes it to drift in the air and float like pollen or mycelial spores, is because gravity is not acting upon it.
It's so tiny, so fine that
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And it's so low density that in order to make a proper tuning fork, tuning forks need to be solid. They cannot be hollow. You need a good amount. And so you're pretty much trying to make the spell kind of cheat it, because even looking at this, you're like, this is going to be close.
Yeah.
You think that if you do it just right, if you do it perfectly, you could get away with doing 2 of them.
Okay.
Great. That's what it is. I'm going to go this way. Eleazar, how are you feeling? What is your health at?
So he's pretty weak. He's obviously tired. I think that he's a lot more beat up than what you guys have probably ever really seen before. And so he's kind of walking away from all the commotion and just kind of sits down and sticks Warm Blizzard in the dirt. And you just kind of see him just...
It's like right into the flagstone. Not even into the dirt, just starts cracking the stone.
Yeah, but he just takes a knee and he's just...
Yeah, you do that
doesn't
like...
say anything, just really quiet.
Cool. You were rather winded, and like as you were doing that and kind of like slowly catching your breath, you had witnessed the scene with Ermgrim and not taking out their vengeance on Logren, and being what you are and the promise that you have taken. Does that give you a sense of injustice, or does that give you a sense of more like character development and enlightenment?
Character development and enlightenment, because although he is Oath of Vengeance, that vengeance is not his. And so it's more of a character development.
Is that something that inspires Eleazar, or is that or like, I don't want to say either this or that. Is that viewed like as an inspiration, like something to strive toward, or do you think that is more? That's none of my business.
More of that's none of my business.
Okay, cool.
If it were me, I would have taken my vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
So
not
for those of you at home, I have been working on, unbeknownst to the players, a new mechanic that I'm trying to introduce into some new cool stuff that we're working on, where I'm trying to get a little bit more input. So you know when you play games like Fallout, or you have companions and you do an action that says like everybody liked that, or Meg didn't like that, or Ian will remember this, like or whatever.
It's BioWare.
Yeah, sure. BioWare, everything. So I'm going to like periodically ask you these questions, and depending on your answers to these questions are going to depend on how...
You have gained 2 reputation.
not necessarily, so not necessarily like political and social, as much as most of you are connected in some way to some sort of outside force that gives power or whatever. Those are individuals that have their own leanings, they have their own views, and almost all of you are connected intrinsically and unavoidably, inexorably, inevitably to this thing. It's so much so that you share quite a bit of existence.
And even if we're not, they are. So their companions are also getting judged.
Yeah. So I don't think the characters are consciously aware of the connection that is.
Yeah.
But this is like my way of like kind of data mining how, because the reason why I ask is because these extant
Tethers.
beings
Yeah.
Relationship.
would have insight to that without having to try. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so it could and would affect your relationship with them
These two are directly tied to.
fully. Yes,
Higher level.
yes, you do the math correctly, Adam. Yes,
But, like-
that is the idea.
But like,
There's a lot of shit
there's
going on.
other
yeah, and
there's other lesser connections to other things.
oh yeah,
that
I mean
the
like
rest of us are tied
what
to.
just happened with Trisheni.
Yeah.
I mean it's pretty, and yeah, we got. I mean I think the only person that's like not fully is
Just you.
you.
Yeah, you.
It's just
Well,
you.
So the catalyst dust is how I awaken.
sure.
Well,
Yeah,
So,
yeah, but you're not.
Onculine.
Onculine,
Oh yeah.
because you have some in you, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not to
So
Trisheni's
all
level.
y'all have a little spy.
Not to Trisheni's level, but like I
It's
am.
almost like I planned
I'm still
this.
tied to that.
My spy is trapped inside log.
So great. So
My
anyway,
arcane abilities are still tied to the
wanna give it
same.
to him?
I don't want to
Yeah.
talk about it too much. So I'm gonna cut you off there. But I just wanted you to be aware of like I'm not just like, hey, how you feeling? Like I'm checking in because there are things that. Granted, tell me how your characters are really feeling. Like don't,
Now, what I will say is
Sure.
that he is a little bit. Yeah, it's not his business, but he's just kind of like,
put off.
yeah, like why wouldn't he do that? Like what? What's his
So
problem?
like that fire of that promise of revenge is still there. It's not.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
but it's
Even with him
It's
taking
not his
revenge in a different
business.
way.
I'm sorry.
Even with him taking revenge in a different way, by making him basically
Elieger's
be
a
the,
complex creature.
the go-between for the people that he's.
We've
fighting
turned
and
this
killing.
entire game into a burnt end session. We have to be more playing in our characters and everything. But yes, I know where it is you're coming from. I think
Yeah, I would say there's only one form of vengeance.
Okay.
that Eliezer really thinks is truly valid.
vengeance, right.
Yeah, pure.
Yeah.
I understand that,
Yeah.
and that's.
Argus and Eliezer need to have a conversation because I messed with a lot of souls. And a lot of
Granted,
things that
I
are
don't think
not.
Argus doesn't have insight into this type of information, especially since there's nothing that Eliezer has given an outward indication of that you should be checking up on him, other than he's wounded. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to stop taking agency away because we should keep moving. So Eleazar has taken a break.
Yeah.
Great. Argus and Cole, you are headed on your way back from the being kind of out of commission from the fray. Things are. I believe both of you are still in the central rotating platform that is now reattached
I
to
just
the.
destroyed the skull.
Right. I'm sorry.
I am. Yes,
You
you are
are-
totally right about where
but
Cole
it got
is.
moved, so it's back next to the helmet chamber, not attached to the other one, if I remember, because
Yeah,
the
they came out and healed people and did all that fun
right
stuff.
because and when the skull got destroyed, the
Logren went back and destroyed the stone guys so that it was going in auto.
So he could control
Yeah.
it.
right, that's true. Yeah. God, I've forgotten so much.
Hey man, it's been a lot of weeks,
Yeah.
brother. You know what I'm saying? Ain't
So-
you been busy?
Yeah.
There. Great. Last one then, Cole.
I mean,
You were healing a little bit, yeah.
yeah, and Cole's pissed because he very clearly knows that he just missed an entirely epic fight for his book. And it's not available to him anymore. He's got to ask questions. He doesn't know first count.
I will say that
experience.
you're still able to see and hear and smell and taste and touch. Like you had access.
I
to
know,
all
but
that.
It
Cole-
was rotated the other way around.
Yeah,
You
no,
couldn't
Cole
see.
Cole went back and forth a few times, so he missed parts of the fight.
It's like turning a mannequin the other way around. Like, you don't need to see this.
But one other thing that Cole would be doing would be kind of looking for remains of an ithilid kind of thing.
Well, you're watching log
We can
chopping.
just call them
Log chopping
cephalopods, cephalomorphs.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
what
just
for the moment?
just trying to get because he knows that like what they have might work for that component for one of his spells that he's trying to make.
Sure. You witness Log slowly
D-handing.
dehanding
Getting hands.
the only remaining corpse.
To Log.
I would
hands our
go up
currency.
and probably try and crack open the head and try and take stuff out of there.
Out of where?
Their head.
But I was going to say, ever since, what was her name? Revik's Willow. Ever since hearing that she ate Grandpa
You've had a
Cruel's,
mild curiosity.
I've had a curiosity.
You did not see that though. Cole,
Oh no, he didn't see it. No, but
You know, she told us.
yeah,
that
she told
afterwards.
us.
Later.
And I said, you didn't share, and so
That's
Log
all.
has a
Okay,
a
cool.
curiosity.
So here's what I'm gonna say. You have a dagger on you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'd say, given enough effort, you eventually like start cracking things open. The skeleton of this individual is more malleable than what you're used to. It's almost, you know how there's soft spots on infants, and how because the calcium in the bones hasn't like fully hardened, and it hasn't like gotten hasn't. The soft spot hasn't converged, and it hasn't fused together. It feels kind of like
I mean,
Cartilaginous.
Cole's from like an ice.
cartilaginous
Yeah.
bone.
Cole's
Yeah.
from like an ice flow village up north. He may have had experience like getting into
Squid.
squids and stuff like
Yeah,
that before.
and-
So
and other creatures that need that type of thing.
Yeah.
Especially like large Arctic aquatic creatures that need to have that. So yeah, I mean, but by means of me saying that it's not an incredibly difficult task to do this, you are able to scalp this thing, like skull and all. There's a brain there.
Cole grabs a piece of the brain
Sure.
and then some of the fluid with it too. Like puts the brain inside of the fluid inside of one.
Okay,
like
you
a
want to
jar.
tap it for some spinal fluid?
Are you going to eat all of that, or just some of it?
Did you say eat?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not over there. I'm sorry.
You're close enough.
Log, I haven't felt this sick since I had the gut buster. Can I turn away while you do that?
Elias is sitting over there taking
Okay.
a break, leaning on his sword, and he's like heavy breathing, and then you guys talk about eat it, and he stops. Did you say eat?
Yeah.
You better cook that first.
Oh, that's better. I would assume. I mean,
It's like sashimi.
There's nothing. That's
So you
better
can
raw.
go ahead and write down in your inventory that you have a vial of cephalomorph's brain suspended in spinal fluid.
how many temporary hit points do I get?
How much of the brain do you eat?
How does it taste?
Do I see
It needs
this?
cooked. That's all
Am
I'm
I
gonna
looking
say.
at this?
Yeah. I mean, are you looking?
It's
Yeah.
He's right in front of you. Are you
I'd
looking?
say it doesn't taste too different than it's not as like blood filled. I would say it's not as, how do I explain this? It's softer than like the raw meat that has muscle and stuff in it. It feels, it's like a little softer. It almost has consistency of scrapple. Because it's a much softer species. I will say that it is difficult to really get too much of a flavor from it. All you can really tell is the texture, because the other sensation you get from it is some sort of like electrical charge, like a bunch of pennies in your mouth, because there's still a current running through the brain, even though it has been like, vivisected into pieces and removed from the skull, almost as if it's like still struggling to be self-sufficient on its own, removed from the body and not whole.
It's been a while since we ate it all.
I will
Mom,
say
what are you doing?
that there are patches on the brain of different colors, like almost as if, and like the actual in the squiggly marks of the brain, the actual folds and creases in the brain look to be sometimes of like different consistencies and different densities. Thank
yeah.
you. Densities, like there are parts of other types of brains that are slowly melding and transforming to become part of this brain.
Dude, those taste different.
Oh, yeah, so does it all taste uniform or?
No, those pieces absolutely taste different. Those pieces do not have an electrical charge currently running through them as and anywhere near as much, and they do taste a little bit more like.
So it's
I
like
mean, have you tasted human? Yeah, you have.
I mean, it still wouldn't taste like muscle.
It
or
doesn't
fat.
taste- yeah.
It would still
It's like
taste
head
like
cheese.
brain.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like rib or,
I mean,
like,
technically,
you know,
brain is muscle.
roast or it. Yeah, it's just it's tougher.
I mean, I'll eat, like a meal's worth. Just
Yeah.
we've been fighting.
Log, what are you doing?
You have to just try certain things. When you're in different cultures, you're just gonna try the local cuisines.
Culture.
What culture eats the brain besides the ones you're eating?
Especially not cooked.
Goblinoid?
yeah, I mean, you've got to at least cook the lamb brains a little
Well,
bit.
actually, that's a
Makes
good.
sense. It's really good.
That helps because he is a goblinoid. So
So I mean, yeah, just I'm saying, don't knock it till you've tried it. You want some?
no.
In the back of your head, you hear. Bah.
Cole turns over his shoulder and he goes, "No." He doesn't turn around. To
That was
say
a double
anything.
callback, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah! I feel proud of myself. I almost went.
So yeah, how many temp hit points?
Okay, so if you want to fill your belly, you want to have a meal's worth of this thing.
Or if there is a meal
Okay,
of it to be had.
you're a big dude. That's a hemisphere.
He has it.
You want to eat half of it?
Yeah.
Okay, you eat half of it.
It's a big hemisphere.
Can you
too.
please roll an intelligence saving throw for me?
Come on, buddy.
It's a 3.
It's about right.
All right, everybody, get ready to kill Log.
I got Gall in there now to help out.
You feel fine. It's it's good. I'd say you probably get 13 temporary hit points from that.
I'll take it.
Oh, that is so gross.
I mean, it could use a little more blood, but it'll do.
Did you at least put any like salt on
You guys
it or
like
anything?
have
Like,
has the skull part upside down. He's just,
Right.
please, sir, may I have some more?
I'll save the hands for later.
Logren,
Like to eat
Logren
it.
is kind of watching this whole event.
We're in the other room collecting dust, so
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the same room.
It's the same room.
Yeah.
no,
It was all one big
The
room.
only people that are in the other room are Pernua and Klaxon. Everyone else
and
is on this
Megra.
side.
okay.
Right. She's just
Right, and Megara, yeah, because Pernua brought her over there
Uh-huh.
to save her.
You
Hey,
threw her on the thing
Log?
and then we
Yeah.
pulled her off.
You know those things like infect other creatures, right?
But it's dead. We killed it.
Yeah, but you remember that worm that I got that tentacle from that I was turning into a whip?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from something like that where it turns into that creature.
We don't know how they infect other things, so you be careful.
Well, they were using a doctor. That's they had to do more experiments with the doctor.
Yeah, for the worms, not for the things that were humanoid.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on yourself. Let us know if you feel anything funny.
Remember the big brain thing that they showed us that was moving around?
I wonder how
That,
that
like,
tastes.
controls.
No, it's a bad idea.
That they're all interconnected. So
But
we'll
it-
see who else shows up in your head.
I mean,
Yeah.
it could be really awesome to have Log connected to a big illithid community, or cephalopod community, but
If he tries to eat my brain, I will shoot you.
I'll wait till you're dead before I ever try that.
Okay.
Let's wait until his soul has left his body, not just till he's dead.
Right.
Okay, let's wait till I'd say that he's done.
I think we all need to do a little bit of watching tonight for sure.
I think at this point we're all good friends, but if you ever try to eat my brain, I will shoot you.
you're sleeping
Fair
in a
enough,
separate
fair
hut
enough.
tonight, right?
I mean, we usually do because then we get the 2 huts.
So for all intents and purposes, some time passes. This corpse is thoroughly mutilated. There's really not much left to do with this, other than perhaps
You're gonna throw it over the edge?
you could throw it over the edge. You could burn it, just get rid of
I'll
it.
burn
Like
It seems proper, you know?
Hold on. I cut off one of the tentacles from
you
the face.
finish doing your ritual if you'd like to, and collecting the dust. If you would like to at this time, unless you want to save it for later to try to do this at a different venue, you could attempt to do your tuning fork fabrication now if you'd like.
I mean,
This is probably not the place.
no. I'd rather just
How long does that take?
10 minutes. It's not ritual. It's just 10
Yeah,
minutes
yeah.
to... Yeah.
I do spend a minute mending Conk just to get him moving. Like, not fully back functional, but like
Yeah, mobile.
mobile.
Got it.
Anybody
Activated
really
again.
hurting right now, too?
I
It's
just
like
had some
forcing the wheel on a
I know,
car to
not you.
realign so you can drive it to the mechanic.
I'm at 24. but-
Okay. Doing good?
I'm more than half.
I'm fit as a fiddle.
Okay, cool. I was just gonna, if we needed to, I was wanting to heal us before we start walking out to other places.
Moonchild's actually really hurt, though.
Okay. I pump a second level healing word into Moonchild.
You had a question for me about that, but you can ask me during the break.
Yeah, no, it's,
10 points to Moonchild.
So,
She was at 4.
Poor Moonchild.
other than that, this
Kyron, how you doing?
I've never seen someone consume cerebrum before, so
You didn't need to look.
Well,
how could I
mean,
not?
Do you want some?
I said need, not.
Kyron, the answer is no. Just whenever he asks you something, the answer is no.
I mean,
it good?
I mean, you can try if you know.
Do you no?
Should I try it? Should
No.
I cook it first?
You only live
No.
once.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Let me impart some wisdom. No.
You can cook it for him first. He probably would prefer to cook.
It would
His,
probably.
I'll
his
be
stomach
honest.
digests
It'd probably
different things
lose
than
some of
yours.
that.
I'll be honest, he's one of my best friends. I don't do his ideas unless I'm drunk.
Is he just full cannibal?
No.
That
He's only
wasn't-
cannibal if
that
it's
wasn't a
bugbear.
Yeah.
He
Well,
eats.
I'm not
he
some
eats-
It's a
savage.
little racist.
He eats cooked meat, but he also eats raw meat fairly often.
No, it's the
He hasn't
definition
eaten
of
goblin
cannibalism.
before either that we know
cannibalism.
of.
That's
That's
literally
all.
the definition of
Not that
cannibalism.
I know of.
Well, I mean, if I ate you, well, we're both
We're both dwarves.
I mean, well, if I ate Boots over here, I still would consider myself a cannibal. I don't think that's
Sentient being.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like there's like an uncanny valley
That's your
thing. I mean,
definition of
if
sentient
it's got a face that like
There's a lot of
it's got a
animals
humanoid,
that eat.
But have you seen the face on these things?
yeah.
Do you think about eating other, like when you have squid?
The closest
when
thing,
you have calamari?
I mean, that's what I was gonna say. Like the closest thing, maybe calamari. I maybe have a craving every one. Like,
I mean,
Then you should try it.
Are you good to talk to people? You know, you're technically the only one who survived the trial, right?
what, I mean,
Logren's here.
no one died.
Yeah, but you're the only one conscious.
Yeah.
And that was the
Right.
trial.
Remember they said.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
we would know
we
who-
kind of covered this, right? Like, I guess I'm kind of the de facto.
Right, but are you ready to go out and tell everybody and talk to them? And don't mention the cannibalism,
Destiny.
because that would be really bad. Yes, Destiny.
Destiny.
You survived.
You
So
did.
all that was required.
Yeah. Okay.
You made it through fighting how many Illithid?
Cool. So what now then?
Well, there's a crown out there on a pedestal.
Waiting to see who survived.
You
Great.
you succeeded. You succeeded on all 3
Hungry?
trials.
Yeah.
It smells a little like brain.
Not only do you have the bloodline, but you have the trials now. All 3 of them. You have everything you need.
You also have the backing
Technically,
of the
you
people.
have succeeded to be the
We also
leader.
kind of just dismantled the whole hierarchy of people who decided that was kind of the whole thing too. So, I mean,
How did we dismantle it? They're still here.
they're all at our. Okay. All right.
I'm not killing them.
Is there anybody here you don't trust? If you don't trust them, we can take care of them right now.
There's a big cliff.
You mean like murder?
I didn't say that.
I mean, we do need to rebuild a trial of the mind in some way.
Do we?
Capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to live forever, so somebody's got to succeed you.
But does it have to be via trial?
No. Well,
Because this was archaic and
We've got a new
traumatizing.
skull right here.
a trial of the mind needs to exist.
It doesn't-
Whatever form that takes.
Can we just...
You could make it a stone, a Styrcragg trivia trial of the mind.
Or
Chess. Chess is good.
Oh, so
too.
like a test.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can slowly make the gradual transition towards a meritocracy.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I mean, if you
we could
really
make it
wanted
where
to,
they
you
have to
could
go out and to the world
With
and
me?
explore around. No, they have to go collect certain things.
I'm
from
not the
throughout
best at
world.
dating.
No, not like that. It'd be-
Or what he's saying is you could send them out to get like artifacts and bring them back to Styrcragg and make that the trial.
Like the temples?
Like, what have you done to improve your mind? How have you
Or
improved your
what
mind?
have you done out in the world to improve Styrcragg?
I like
wisdom.
Like pilgrimages.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of like what I have to do. I can't go back and get my master's badge at the college until I bring them an original story.
That works. That's cool. We have to also make sure that we're if
improve strength.
that's the
wisdom,
thing. I mean, we're the
intelligence,
first
like,
line of defense to the breach.
Right, but going out and going on an adventure and collecting certain things in certain places is going to test your strength and going to test your resolve.
There's strength and wisdom, which is gained through perspective. Yes, I
I
understand.
kind of liked your idea of a test, though, too. You need a tactical mind to be in charge of a force.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I was planning on diverting a little bit more funding to the war college.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a good
you
plan.
can always like set them up against illusionary creatures too. I mean, just like that purple worm that attacked the center of town. That was actually an illusion.
Okay. Well, hold on. We've got a couple people here that are, kind of noble, and they're just kind of laying there unconscious. I mean, they're okay, but probably shouldn't keep doing that,
Well,
right? We
do
should
you-
probably relocate this conversation.
You're in
What
charge.
question? Do you want them around to challenge your position if that may happen?
Well, on that point, actually, I was going to say, for the moment, we have closed door session.
Which is why I don't necessarily think we should do anything with them right now.
I don't think we should
Megara-
leave them here. I think that's like, if that's my first act in office is to say, well, you snooze, you lose. That's...
Well, no. We can do that again. We did that for you, remember, at the second trial where we showed how benevolent you were by raising that other guy.
We'll bring them
We can
with
bring
us.
them out
Great,
and...
but I'm not like acting. I mean, I'm actually don't want them to die.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're not, but we can use that outside to show your benevolence
Megara
again.
had already agreed to back
Back us.
us.
Yeah.
We
If
need-
she's
we need to
still
get them to
even
a
brain
temple.
active.
So
We need to get them to a temple.
We need to get them
Yeah,
healed.
I agree. But
They're stable. They're fine.
yeah. So then the other thing is, So I've got destiny now. Destiny. I
You should get that
wasn't.
tattooed on you so that way you have it always with you.
Maybe like a tramp stamp, like that.
I'm not afraid to ask for
Wasn't
help.
saying
Will you
that,
help?
but
I don't know. but
What do you need us to
How
help
would
you
want
with?
us to help?
Can you stick around for a bit?
How long?
Help me get things together. Seeing as you
There's-
obviously seem to know more about running a town than the actual people who ran the fucking town.
Megara would know more than we would.
How much are you willing to pay?
Take what we
I'm
say
worried
with a
about
grain
a
of
lot
salt.
what
I'm
else
sure we
is
can
going
figure out
on.
some sort of
Cost.
stipend.
No brain, log.
I'm willing to hang around for a few days.
As long as he's willing to pay, right?
I'm worried
My-
about some of the people that we know and love out in the world.
I have
Yeah.
some things I really have to get
Yeah, there's some people.
to. A few days
threatening some of
is-
those
is
about
fine.
mine.
You have plenty of good advisors though now that have agreed to help you, that actually know how to run a city. None of us have ever done it.
Megara agreed to help you. Logrin is here to help you.
Okay.
We have people who know what they're doing.
We
in
will
this
help
area.
you get your feet stable, but I don't think we can hang around for too long.
We're great at stirring up trouble and changing things.
We
And
are trouble.
We are not
I'm
great at sticking
Going
around.
to say
I don't
this,
think you want us.
No.
and I'm going to say this if you don't trust either one of these two, we need to do something about it now.
What are you expecting him to do?
I'm not saying he does anything. If he doesn't trust him, we deal with it.
I am not in for just straight up
Are you
murder.
talking about murder again?
No.
It's proactive self-defense.
But I think, look,
It's removing contention for the crown. Thank you very much.
Well, there's no. Well, okay, yeah, there is kind of a crown, but look, I'm thinking about getting rid of that thing. That thing is ugly.
That had the gems of your family line in it.
And, I mean, we'll put the gems in something else. Like, I'm thinking, not a crown
Like a
made out of.
scepter? What do you?
Tiara.
There's
no.
nothing wrong with
No,
modernism.
I meant like I meant like liquidate them and put them into a fund to actually, help the people of the city.
One of the things you could do with that too is change how the city is run instead of a single leader.
That was the whole
Make
point.
it more of a council.
That was kind of the line of questioning I was going along because I wanted you to be on my council.
I can't stay for the council
We
myself.
can be a
we consult.
external external
Consultants.
consultation.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, you guys are the closest thing to friends I've ever had. I mean, like, I trust you guys.
Yeah.
We fought together. We saved lives. I didn't die. I found destiny. I caught the carriage.
Argus here can check in with you anytime, anywhere we are in the world.
You can find
We're
an
not-
advisor that can do the same.
We're not just disappearing to never be heard from again. We just
Okay.
Megra volunteered to be that advisor for you.
Okay.
As long as we can get her
Yeah.
back.
like I said, we'll help you get your feet on the ground and
We can't just.
feel comfortable, but we can't stick around forever.
Styrcragg may be your destiny, but it is not. It is just part of the way on ours.
Well, and how would it look? We're all outsiders, even you. How would it look to the city to make your council all outsiders?
It'll look
You
like a
need
coup.
it to be people from within, not outside.
And
They know
consult-
more of the problems than we do, and they will be trusted by the people more than we will.
You see Ermgrim pipe. Oh, for burn's sake. I'll help you.
Yeah.
Don't have much place to go anyway.
Well,
Well, I still wanted us to go do a couple things. You know, there's
Nearby?
the Emilids and what was that her name? The priests.
Yeah.
The amulet?
Yeah,
The
the
high
Emilit that I want to talk to with you, and
Right.
I still really want to get
You mean the
some of your
local one?
tattoo- Sure. Because you have your anti-tracking tattoo.
Oh, right. You want some ink?
I mean, yeah, or a brand or whatever.
I can
it
get that
was.
done. Oh, right, brand. Can you burn yourself? Right. I keep forgetting that sometimes.
Can you not?
Never tried.
It wasn't with my fire. It was with a torch. It was the outside fire.
Okay, look, I'll stick around. I actually have some experience in politics and running
That's true.
places, so I can help you. Also,
Tyron's gonna need your help integrating, the less accepted peoples as well. I mean, that
The
was
lesser clans.
part of this whole thing was making sure that those that didn't have a voice have a voice.
I also
Right.
think it's important to
Your people,
include Vogel
the Dark
in a certain
Dwarves.
ways.
And you should honestly include some people with some weird and new ideas.
I got those.
Not you.
I think Ermgrim, that's
Is that
where
from
you
you
can
or
help
the new brain?
most, is making sure
Actually, I was
people
thinking.
who were seen as enemies aren't seen as enemies anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
there was this older elf tinkerer who might not be a bad one for a different point of view for you.
I don't know if you should ask her for anything serious.
She
wasn't
does have a
exactly
tweeter.
all there.
No, but she could help change this city a little bit too. She's more about the new ideas and creations than just whatever you bring up from the pit.
I can start
I don't remember.
I could start diverting more funds.
You still need to focus on defense. You are right here next to the rift.
Yes, I know.
And especially with what we know now is going on down there.
Right.
I think that is your number one priority.
And if we saw the brain saw us, and especially with those that were here just minutes ago, you know.
I could knock 2 birds out with 1 stone. Pardon the pun. I could offer whatever her name is with the tweeter a military contract to try to develop ones that can be used in the battlefield for faster communication between platoons.
That would be the perfect thing
And we
to
could
do.
also use it domestically.
Could work.
There's a lot of things to go over.
I should be writing this down.
2 bats.
And they pull out a notepad and they start
2 bats
sketching.
and 1 stone. Isn't that how the saying goes?
You could, with that too, she could help make you a more of a medical center.
Guys.
Birds down here.
With her help, you could make this city more of a medical center too. She was teaching us about artificial limbs and the like, which could increase the amount of people coming here, which means you could make a standing force against the breach.
Yes,
with more
another
people.
and also another military contract.
Glowworms can you hit with 1 stone?
Yes,
I mean, they're pretty big. Probably just 1 at a time.
And you have to pay out pensions less soon that way if somebody gets an artificial limb than having to retire them when they lose one.
You gotta watch out for the rain afterwards.
It's underground. What rain?
The worms.
The worm rain.
Oh, yeah. I think that's fine. I think that system is really good because that gets used for fertilizer for food. So I don't see it.
I mean,
You missed.
We,
Never
we,
mind.
we were talking about two worms, 1 stone. It's fine. Instead of 2 birds,
The saying
Yeah.
of 2 birds, like
2 bats.
I'd always heard 2 bats with 1 stone, but like we were trying to figure out how many worms you could hit with 1 stone. And I think it's
We went on.
it's 1. We've seen them. It's 1.
I hit a lot of things.
and then on top of that, you got to watch out for the rain afterwards.
Okay.
But
I think
I would also, for protection,
My brain runs
create
on
a
tangents.
license system for entering
I
the
follow all
breach.
tangents.
That will help you keep track of people down there.
well, yeah. I mean, there's already, as far as I know from my history of this, is that there's already a ledger system for that.
Right, but a licensing system means you can charge them for access to the breach, which is more money in.
Well, why would someone want to volunteer? Oh, you mean if they went hunting?
Yeah.
taxes.
Fame and
on what they
glory.
bring
Which
back.
also means that
Or
they have
tariffs,
to.
I guess you would call them.
I mean, they already take a huge risk by going to the breach already. We want to leech more money off of them? That
Do
seems
you
kinda
want to let?
scummy, right?
Well, here's the thing, though: is people who are honest will get the license. People who aren't honest might be working or spies for those down in the breach.
Or they might just go around your whole system. There's so many ways in there.
Right. All
It's
that
literally
means
a
is
big hole
so
in the
all
ground.
that
All you're
means
doing
is
is
that the people
taxing
that
the
will
people
pay
who are
for
good.
it will.
I'm just.
These
Hey,
are-
hey, hey!
It's a
I'm
lot
just
of
thinking of
complications.
ways to raise the money for the town. You guys can do whatever the hell you want.
I think for right now,
So
you
if you
just
pay
need to
No,
worry.
8 extra
licensing
gold, you
works.
get a verified check mark next to your ID.
No, I think
I mean,
for now
You
that's
could even-
more complications than you need. You
Yeah.
need to focus on defending.
All right. We need to get
got
Megara
it.
in this.
From
con-
whatever's
we need to
coming
get
in.
Well,
these
that's one of my
people
other
first.
things.
Let's-
Is that speaking? Yeah,
Megara
you.
here can help you do that.
She's unconscious still. Logren, your job is actually your first job of exile is to you're runner. You're going to Thulbor Bed. Yeah, you're headed there as fast as you can. We'll rummage up a steed or something. We'll figure it out. Get you a caravan out there. We're gonna get you there as fast as we could because you need to bring word there. And being a someone of an actual blood or noble household, you should be able to have some sort of sway, even if it is kind of no longer extant. You need to petition and lobby us for
He was married into it.
more forces. Not only that, we need the latest defensive technology that Thulmorbred has, regardless of fucking licensing. I don't care whether it's still in the prototype phase. It's
we
we're
know
getting it.
somebody with the bank ledger family that might be able to help you out.
You gonna trust him?
If we give him a big enough contract, that's a huge in with that family for
He's on
favors.
the outs of that family.
Yeah.
Best way to get him back into the family. This is a huge contract.
You're piling on a lot for someone who hasn't even officially taken the position yet.
That's true. We need to get him out of here first.
We need to get them
Take a
back.
step back.
We need to get some people back
Yeah.
in the council chamber.
Yes.
We need to set up the council. You
Sure.
need to get
First of all,
plans. So-
we need to show them that we didn't all die down here. So let's just
And
deal with that first.
do we? We've massacred this corpse, so we have no proof of any illithid.
I mean, the rest of its skull is still kind of one piece,
well,
except for the
if
top.
if I would remember correctly, all they said was that the one who returns victorious is the one.
Right, but I meant to prove to the town that, hey, we got an illithid attack. You need to be on defense. We got some crazy junk going on around here. Let's
Yeah, I guess it would be
move
difficult to
towards-
explain spear wounds.
I was gonna say, before we leave, does anyone want to ask him questions?
Who? Logrid?
No, Vogel.
I thought Vogel was
Oh.
unconscious.
Oh, before he's...
Am I mistaken? Is he like kind of on the chopping block right now? Am I not supposed to be here for that?
He's the one that made those things come here.
I don't want him to go to sleep.
He did?
Yes.
Didn't you guys tell me he's a dream weaver?
He did something during the trial
He's a
that
dream
caused
weaver.
this to happen.
Yeah, but
I don't.
I trust him. I don't want the other guy to sleep and do something.
Yeah, that's fair.
He had a ring or something, didn't he? Something he was fiddling with.
There's one way to tell. You can go fiddle with him.
We can go take everything off of him that we think is magical too.
He's
Then he
still
doesn't have any-
alive and kicking, though. But
I won't eat him then yet.
Yeah.
the solution
This-
is not to eat everyone.
This trial is deadly,
I
but
need
it's
to take
not
his soul.
normally this bad.
I mean, I wouldn't know. This is my first one.
Do we know anyone else who has seen a trial before?
Logren is the only one who knows
didn't-
about the
History
trial.
History
see a
says
trial.
that this
Yeah.
trial hasn't happened for
I-
at least several hundred
Well,
years.
no, but he was the one who told us all the rules of the trial and knew about where to go. Since you're the new head, you can change the trial just by telling somebody that the trial's
I
different.
succeeded the actual trial.
Oh, so you want to be leader of Styrcragg?
No. What I'm saying is the trial is
You want to stay?
strength of mind.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's not illithid coming from a tear in space and killing everything.
So
Yeah.
I'm of a mind that to scrap the trials entirely. Because
I'm just-
there's just honestly, it's just a fallback for whenever there's not a leader, or if there's
Then we need
the
to
vote of
you
no
need to
confidence
write a-
for them to.
You need to write a fallback.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
I'm going to work with Ermgrim and Megara to
I think
come up with a new one that's not so archaic and like dangerous to your health and those of health
My-
around you, and
needs sign
could
off by
possibly
everyone.
end in the absolute obliteration of the entire ruling party of intelligent council. It doesn't make any sense. But
My
who the fuck came up
question
with this?
was, do we want to ask him why he did this
He doesn't know.
Oh yeah, for sure. We want to interrogate him.
before we go up, or do we want to take him up in that state with us?
Prepare any of my torture spells.
I think we do it ourselves, but do we want him to be questioning us, or do we want to trick him?
He's right there.
Do we think he was working alone?
Thought he was
No, he's on the other side.
So then we should keep
He's
him
on the
here,
other side.
since nobody can get out right now.
He sabotaged this whole thing. He caused.
Let's migrate.
those-
Let's migrate. And
he
he just
caused
starts
those creatures
walking
to
onto
come
the
here.
platform.
Hold
He
on.
starts trying to lift Megara.
Megara's already
I,
on the
for
other
one-
side.
Megara's
Like,
already on the
yeah.
other side.
It's the Mortanic guy. That's
Yeah, he
there.
starts trying to
Yeah,
lift
more
Mortanic. He's like, oh, beard
It's,
oil.
it's okay.
I'll pick him up.
You pick them both up?
No, not.
Oh,
the-
one at a time, and you throw them on the thing.
No, there's
Yeah.
only one unconscious guy.
Megara and
Megara's
on the
already
other
on the other
side.
side.
oh,
It's Mortanic and the other one that's
Yes.
over here.
Armand Mortanic is here. Yeah,
I'd
okay.
gotten Megara back.
Great. Okay, so you guys get over to the other side. No problem. No biggie. Pernua is still there. She has removed the bracer around the leg that she still has pinned to the ground. She has not removed the spear from his leg because that would cause more bleeding. And she's trying to keep him alive, but she has removed the bracer from it and fashioned, from one of the leather straps, fashioned a bit of a tourniquet so that he doesn't like bleed out. And with the other bracer, she is, just like the leather of the bracer, she appears to be carving something into it, like just working at it, like doodling.
Who's capable of questioning him properly?
When you say properly.
I mean,
Don't one of you guys have some manacles?
No.
I do.
I do.
I
I have rope. We can tie him up, but I don't have manacles.
I used to be a town guard. I have manacles. I
And a
used to
bog guy.
interrogate criminals. What?
Just you know,
I can
manacles,
ask
and then we
the-
can heal him so he doesn't just bleed out.
I mean, he's literally physically impaled into the ground. He's not going anywhere.
Who wants to play bad
But
cop
I'll
to my
manacle him,
good cop?
sure.
I'm bad at everything, so.
Perhaps a
I
trial.
would love Ermgrim to, but I'm worried that he might take it too far.
That's why I was asking you guys.
I can always cauterize some wounds.
I mean, whatever he says, we don't want it to seem like it's coerced, and we should show it to the public, right? To show that he has been in
Well,
collusion with
Depends on what we're trying to find out. Do we care about defaming him in public, considering he did not pass the test?
I think, regardless, though,
He
he's
hasn't passed
still.
2 of the tests.
Yeah.
And we never saw the first one. We also showed him failing to kill the purple worm in the town.
Right.
But it's
Ermgrim
still-
nudges you and says, "Why don't you get that ring off his finger and find out what it is?"
Sounds like a good idea. I'll go over there and prick the ring off his finger.
Well,
So,
Is it?
you tell me.
I can.
You already cast the spell.
so
Identify it.
Okay, you identify it. It is it's a ring of phasing.
Okay.
It allows him to do what you've seen other people with the ring, like move through bars and stuff like that.
So it's like Darren's ring.
So, my friend, my lord Carrick Stoneworm here is wondering why we should keep you alive right now.
Oh,
Do you
there's
have-
not. Oh, they're fully unconscious.
Okay,
They're not.
cool. I thought they were actually
He's
conscious.
like,
My bad.
Ermgrim like sees you talking to this unconscious body. He's like, "I got it," and he walks up and he casts Cure Wounds.
Yeah, I'm a little
on
too
the
close.
wound, so the wound heals around the spear, like putting it into his thing. And you see him like, and just wake up with this thing fully in his femur.
I'm gonna,
And
my
his bow is
friend,
now
you're
I'm
awake.
gonna take his little
infused
sword
to the
though, by
metal
way.
of the spear.
His hook sword.
And I'm going to look at him and go, my
Oh, yeah.
friend, you're awake. So, my lord Carrick Stoneworm has some questions for you, and your answers determine whether you get to leave here or stay here. I punch him.
You punch him in the face.
As you see,
So which one of you is it gonna be, then, eh?
for what?
Is it time for you to hang by your entrails?
I mean, Mr. This guy would love to have you. We're looking for reasons to let you live right now.
Why?
You give us the reasons, and we'll let you know.
I think we both know that if I walk out of here, I only got a couple steps left before I end up in the same spot.
But wouldn't you like to mess up the people who put you in this position? You didn't choose to decide that this, did you? I reach out and grab that spear in his leg and actually shift it around. You know, I don't think you asked for a spear in the back of your leg.
Zemdak walks to the furthest corner of this room, and I'm gonna do my own thing and ignore what's going on.
Come on, dream bigger.
I can't torture somebody.
Yeah.
You don't have any leverage here.
Really?
Oh, like this?
I'm gonna pull. Yeah, I've got my arm on it. I pull it back when he says that. Really?
Let's do it. No matter how long this goes on,
Can you tell us
either
a
way.
Can you tell us a name? Just to screw over the people who left you in this spot.
Names? Names? You think they tell us any names?
I think you're stupid not to ask for them.
Maybe. Or smart. Depending on how many people they kill. Those who ask.
Can you describe the person who met with you then?
When?
How about this? The one who first came to you with this idea.
Tall.
Like how tall?
Tall, 8 foot. Slender. Blue armor, gold gilding. What does it matter?
It matters.
Did they introduce you to your bard friend, or did you find your bard friend?
Bard friend?
Yes,
You mean-
the bard for your house that has been talking up your
You mean
family.
the Vogel orator?
Yeah.
Hired help.
Hired help.
They're
But-
not even part of the...
No.
Obviously.
Did the person who came and talked to you introduce you to this bard, or did you seek them out yourself?
No, it just... We have the money, so we buy with the best is... What do you... No.
Well, that's better to know. And I jerk it around just because I'm a pain in the ass.
That was the second time I've ever seen one. I don't think it was the same one. Not that it matters. You think they'll let me live?
Oh, I know they
The
won't
fact that
let
they
you
left me
live.
here?
I know they won't let you live. I mean, the most we could do is help you disappear. And I don't know how well we can do that.
Are you being sincere?
I am being sincere. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm being sincere.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
Just keep mending. Just keep mending. Fix conk. Don't
19.
listen to the screams
19?
coming from
Yeah.
the stabbed man.
Yeah.
You see his eyes kind of go wild. Looks at Ermgrim, who's not even looking at him, just kind of looking past him, and has this stoic mask on his face. Looks at you, and kind of like darts at everybody around. Looks at Log, who's like picking a piece of
Brain out of his
out of his teeth. Tries to like turn around and look back.
You can die here right now. You never left this chamber.
How? How do you plan on getting me out of here?
And I will cast a spell and manifest an image of his dead body next to him. Completely like, even with like the tentacles from the from the Illithid on his face, like having sucked out his brain. Can show this to the village, to the city.
He takes one of his hands and he reaches out to it. Does it go through it?
It would go through it.
They're blind.
It worked when you didn't attack the worm, didn't it?
He's talking
No,
about
he's-
the Doken.
I know. No, I know. I'm talking about creating rumors in the city that he's dead.
Great, that's all well and good, but how do you get me physically out of here? And why?
Depends on what you have to trade.
I don't have anything for you. Told you everything I know.
Do they give you anything to communicate with them with?
No.
Did they,
First time we saw them, they came to us.
did they give you anything
They said,
else?
get this person here,
Did they give
make
you
sure they're right for the picking, and we'll set you up for life.
Did they give you anything else? Like even your cloak, for example? Anything?
Was this
Technically, by indirect route, they gave me everything.
the first time you met this person? Was this before you took care of, and I'm going to point over at, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Grim.
Ermgrim. Was this before or after you took care of their family, that you met them?
We heard by word of mouth from courier through a courier through a courier through a courier that someone was looking for our expertise for a job. The hoops I had to run in just to jump through, just to get through, but the promise was worth investigating. Didn't even find out it was one of those long freaks until the very end of the job.
Which long freaks? Tell me specifically.
I said, tall,
I know, I was just
maybe
hoping I
a
could get
woman,
more.
blue armor, gold gilding, helmet over her face, blocking her vision, long hair, dark.
Yes, I've met them before.
Dark complexion.
My lord Stoneworm, Karen Stoneworm, what would you like done with this creature? Betrayed the city, damaged your family.
Murdered the friends, or the family of one of your friends.
Of your political advisors now. It is your decision as the
In a very
master.
grotesque way.
Do they deserve to be spared? They are not going to survive this. We know this. Do they deserve to be spared by your hand, or should we deal with them yourself?
So, Chiron takes a moment, and you can tell that his breath and his heart skips a beat. Before he grabs, he walks over to Ermgrim. Ermgrim's like kind of just in this stoic, non-responsive state. So in his head, looks up at Ermgrim because Ermgrim's a little taller than him. Walks over to the side of Ermgrim.
Did you get that steam bed out?
He breathes in as if he's going to say something, and he opens his mouth. But then he thinks better of it, and he closes it. He notices what you notice, and what you notice with your high passive perception is that although Ermgrim's face is stoic and his breathing is steady and he's pretty much non-responsive, he has a vice grip on the handle of his one of the rusted blade that he keeps with him. So much so that he's squeezing so hard he's making himself bleed. Chiron notices this, closes his mouth. Unsheathes the weapon that you gave him. And holds it in both his hands for a moment. Walks over to Klaxon. And slowly levels the weapon at Klaxon and takes a half step forward so it's touching the part where the metal ring connects the parts of the harness. And you just hear that tiny clink. And you can almost hear like the shimmer of the subtlest of vibrations of the tip of the blade kind of vibrating up against the metal ring. He lowers the blade, allows it to clink against the flagstone. I can neither commit nor condone an action, especially if it's the first action that I have. To be an execution that's synonymous with murder.
Can I make a suggestion, my lord?
Sure.
We know of the brain that is attempting to come here and the issues it may stand for this town.
Wait, do you mean from what? I think you guys are talking about something that I don't know about.
That's right, he wasn't there with us for that. Forgot he wasn't
You
there
guys,
with us.
I thought you guys were talking about the breach, but this sounds like something else.
There are some illithids and a big brain in the breach looking for some of the creatures that we've told you about that we discovered.
He was with us. For that.
That's why you were so concerned that I
They
can't
all
fund
say
the
he
military.
wasn't. I was thinking he was too.
Yeah, okay. I get it. I don't look.
No, yeah, he was with us for that.
I get
yeah,
it.
he
Look,
was
this is
He
gonna
was
have
with
to be
us.
something that I'm gonna have to talk to Megara about because I don't. She's
Yeah.
the warrior. She knows what she's doing about this better than I do. Nevertheless, your suggestion is noted. The world can't change if we're not going to be better than those who make it bad. I mean, I'm not the best speech. I know you've been writing most of my speeches, but I mean, like, what's the point?
The destiny of somebody who leaves a viper in their bed is to be bitten while they sleep.
Perhaps.
Okay, yeah, you're better at it than I am.
And somebody who does political murder, is that who you want to say is, okay, that's fine, we're going to keep you around?
Perhaps.
It would. No, go ahead.
Perhaps
But
you
is
don't
the-
keep him around. Perhaps you still put him in prison and put him on a trial, and that way
Yeah,
the whole.
the answer just can't be summarily executing them.
No,
It can't just be you murdered a bunch of people, so we're gonna murder you. How does that make us any different?
That's why you put him on trial. And you
However-
make it a fair trial, and then it's actually putting him under the microscope of, the new values and such.
With all the backing of the money?
Actually,
do you
He's
really
ex-
trust corruption?
Didn't
not
he
to
just say that
surface?
he's
I
who
think
is it?
there's
Who's this
a
they
way
that
to-
he's talking about? That he says.
The less you know, the safer it is for you.
I understand that you want to keep things close to the chest now, but as of this moment, I am now one of the people. Like, if this is need to know information, guess the fuck what? I'm one of the people that needs to know.
He needs to know how to fight them.
Um,
He needs to know how to counteract them.
My only fear for you with that is that if they discover that you know of them,
Zap. Ouch. Ouch.
they will. They will.
He's over here.
They will kill you rather than work with you if we fail at disturbing their power.
Perhaps we could tell you in a safer space.
Yes, this is not the space to talk about it.
I could certainly create a space quickly, and we could tell you
Everyone
quickly so
knows
you'd be
about it,
informed.
Besides him.
Right, but they can
Yeah.
scry on us. However,
Apart from
one thing I will
Argent
say
here.
Exactly.
with him is you could also send him to the land of the nobles that he murdered to face judgment. It would be a great.
If he gets there, he thinks he's gonna die as soon as he steps outside.
That's very possible.
That's fine. Well, okay. Yeah, let's have a private chat. You want to do your little your hidey hole thing, Periscope?
Yeah, this is Sky Lounge.
Sure.
Here.
Oh,
How
you
many
can't
people can
go
fit
in there,
there?
right?
can
You're not
fit-
allowed. Somehow, it doesn't let you in.
No, there was just too many people before.
Yeah, he just had
Oh.
to stay out. 8 people, so not all of us can go, but some.
Real quick, Eleazar,
I'm good over here.
you just
Okay,
witnessed
all right.
somebody who is about to exact one of the most purest forms of vengeance on the behalf of innocence.
Not.
Become
Give me
unfulfilled.
told not to.
My child.
I want you to roll charisma saving throw for me.
Okay.
That was not something I thought.
21.
21. This is okay. So this is gonna be up to you. This is what you feel. Usually, you feel this comforting, like warm / cooling feeling that just kind of puts you at just Goldilocks temperatures, right? And it makes you feel just right. It cools you when you need to be cooled down. It warms you when you need to be warm. But it's almost always based in cooling. Like even when you first step into a hot tub, it almost feels like it's too cold because your nerves are kind of on shock. It's kind of like that. It's always the core of it is
It's
always
not
some sort
72 degrees. It's 69 degrees.
Yeah, oh, okay. Nice.
Apparently,
So
Eleazar is, that sensitive.
what you feel is the beginnings of that, except it doesn't turn from that like hot initial feeling back into that cool, comforting. It stays hot, burning almost, like red flames licking at the back of your neck. And these flames begin to, these proverbial flames begin to not just stoke your comfort and your personal body temperature, but also your temper. You feel your fuse running shorter and shorter. You still have control over yourself and your actions, but you feel this. When somebody has a phantom limb, like when they have an amputated limb or they no longer have that, sometimes they'll still feel because their brain is still sending them the signals that it's there, so they still understand that. You feel a phantom limb, but not of ones that you're familiar with. You feel something removed from yourself. You feel something much larger, a phantom. Like you can feel your brain is receiving the information, the electrical impulses of something much larger, like a large palm, fingers, something, perhaps claws, you don't know, just removed from yourself, maybe 10, 15 feet away, that is slowly wrapping around something, like gently but firm. So careful not to squish it, but making sure that it cannot be removed from its grip, and you just feel each slowly, one finger after the other, one claw after the other, wrap around. And you just feel it in the back of your head, like in your mind's eye. And you get kind of a direction with it, and it's kind of the direction of Klaxon. And as you look at Klaxon, you start to feel these fingers. You then feel as it starts to push down metal, cold, and then like warmer, like skin. You start to like feel that this hand is giving you tactile feedback of something wrapping around the body of Klaxon. Oh, like some sort of large appendage.
And so I walk towards Klaxon with my sword drawn out. It's just kind of dragging behind me on the ground, just, and I kneel down by him. And I just look into his eyes.
How deep?
I try to see through him.
What do you see?
Just ice, cold blue blizzard. It's cold, but I can't quite tell or see what it is.
You see this cold, empty vacantness, the absence of warmth, the absence of anything, the absence of character. A shell that is a container. Something to be filled, or something to be crushed and recycled. hear this, like on the wind. And none of you else feel wind. Only he feels this wind.
Sure.
Of this wispy, ethereal, yet brilliant, with this shine of just... when you like hit a tuning fork with a pin, and it kind of gives off that resonant note of the highest note on a violin, but it's like consistent, and it quavers ever so lightly to the point where you can just hear this. What is ours?
I'll grab him around the neck area, and I'll just pick him up and stand with him. And I'll just look into his eyes. I'm just curious what you guys are doing.
You grab him by his ring, the ring that his harness is on, and you start to lift him up as the flesh that has healed around the metal of the spear starts to rip and tear and snap as you start to lift him and shimmy him up along the shaft of the spear, as the spear just continues to like insert splinters into his like you're pulling him up the length of the spear as his leg is still perforated and impaled upon it, and he is screaming through gritted teeth, his eyes gone wild, his pupils dilated to almost encompass his entire irises, his what do you call the wipes? Sclera. The sclera now almost entirely bloodshot. And that's when you notice it. The blood isn't red, it's pink. Like blood upon fresh snow. Like the corners of his eyes are beginning to freeze.
I'm going to turn to Ermgrim and say, don't lose out on your vengeance.
The clanging in the corner gets louder to drown out the noise.
I'd
And
cast.
I will run over and start cauterizing his leg with all the splinters inside it.
I had cast.
Did I do this? Did I turn you guys into like just actual torturers?
Not
I'm
me.
gonna have to put so many trigger
not
warnings
me.
on this.
Nope.
Damn it.
Not me either.
Me for sure. You have like Emrys has my family, like is with my family, so me for sure.
As I have impacted him, that doesn't mean he hasn't impacted me.
Right. So,
Trishini casted the Sky Lounge is just looking over Slackjaw right now, and thinking about her father also
I'm
being tortured.
effectively
right
in the
now,
corner.
being like, this
La,
is
la, la, la.
awful.
So-
Just like,
two things.
Cole's
happen.
sitting there going, Emrys has my family.
Yeah.
Emrys
The blood
gave
starts
me a
to
task.
reflow from the now opened wound, but it starts to, rather than drip like coagulated crimson, drips like pieces of the snow cone that are like partially melting and falling onto the floor as it's like pink snow or like kind of like partially frozen sleet, but it's rather than it being water, it's of blood.
He's healing him, but I'm standing really close to him. Does that have any effect on it?
I didn't heal him.
Oh, I thought you said
No,
you were
he's not
healing.
healing.
the-
He's
I
just
cauterized his
cauterizing.
words.
There you go. Okay, that's much better. I misunderstood what you were saying. Thank you.
So you're and then you stop the wound and you hear the sizzling of this like blood sleet like against your produced flame as you start to raise it up, and to the point where he has almost stopped screaming and he's just shaking and he's in complete shock and he's just trying to so much so that it's like his body's like shut down, that part of his body, and he's now just trying to maintain. You see in his eyes again, there's no sclera left. It's all pupil. He doesn't see you anymore. He doesn't see any of you. He's in somewhere else.
Survival mode.
He's in full beast survival mode and he can't do anything about it. He's being fully tortured. You're torturing him.
I'm neutral, but it's on here.
You see Kyron. You're not paying attention. You're very focused on him. Trishendi, you see Kyron. There's a look of horror on his face.
Yeah.
He just he's witnessing the people that like saved him and that he just moments ago called his friends begin to torture the person that he said that he's not going to do it. And he's stunned into silence and immobility. He doesn't know what to think, but he's horrified. Eliezer, I'm going to come back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Armgrim doesn't do anything.
Armgrim's just watching.
And whether he can understand me or not, I'll say loud enough for everyone to hear. Tell me why you should not die.
And you thought I was the mean one.
He's in violent shakes.
And I still ask him, and I get louder and louder. So many people die at the hand of people like you. People are enslaved, and they're beaten, and they're tortured. Why should you have the right to breathe another moment?
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on him.
How much?
11.
11 hit points?
I'm standing nearby him.
But he's not dead.
He's not rolling death saving throws yet.
Okay, I just didn't know what was
He's,
going on with
like,
that curse.
They
so-
are literally...
We don't know what the cape does.
Right,
so it's
that's
about
why I was
all we
asking.
know.
That's why I was saying that.
Shit, okay. Okay. You heal him?
Now I have a question.
Sure.
Do I sense that he
I'm
is
trying to finish
actually...
the thought. Go
So,
ahead.
no.
Yeah, so
okay.
I just want to finish it because this did happen. You healed him. He is able, like he seems to, that seems to pull him out of,
Clarify.
he seems to be now in a conscious state. His entire lower body has completely shut down to the point where like his brain has cut off the rest of his body and everything so that he doesn't. So I want to make you aware of what is the scene that is actually unfolding here. You are doing exactly what Ermgrim intended to do with the abilities that the Ember Lord was going to grant him.
Uh-huh.
Torture somebody to the brink of death, possibly kill them, bring them back, and do it again. You are doing exactly that.
I'm aware.
Okay. and so
Cole's aware too.
Passive perception. Buck, you know what? Both of you roll perception checks for me real quick. Eliezer.
My question to you is, do I know that Argos is healed? Like, can I sense that it's him that's healing him?
Oh yeah, and I mean you're all within 2 feet of each other. You know what his healing looks like. Yeah, he's healing him.
And so I just turn to him and I say, why?
Clarity. Watch his eyes.
He can't answer your question if he's not clear enough to answer it.
You look at his eyes; they're frozen over. Like they're smoky and frozen over. Like there's a layer of ice around them. He's blind right now. What'd you get for your perception checks?
23.
23.
I rolled a 10, so I have my passive perception, which is 19.
23 and
19.
Wait, so I don't do that.
I don't know. I rolled a 10. My perception is plus
Plus 9. Okay. Yeah, I don't do that whole thing about like if you roll low in your passive, you can take.
No,
that's
I'm literally
dumb.
no. I was just telling you. You already have that number
Sure,
that I
sure.
rolled.
Right, cool. I have to redo the thing. But okay, 23 and 19. Okay, I want both of you see the smallest curl of the corner of the mouth of Ermgrim as he's
Taking some pleasure.
there's a bit of Schadenfreude going on here. Rather than dirtying his own hands to do the thing that he said he was going to do,
He got you guys to do it for him.
He has convinced you all to do it for him.
And really, you're the only one who actually knows the truth of everything.
Actually, and honestly, because I know he's connected with the Conclave and Emrys is holding my family hostage, I'm not even thinking about Ermgrim. I'm thinking about the fact that he has information and I want it.
Eleazar, you hear the voice again. This wind, this whistle, this quaver. We can use him. Vengeance is transformative. Transcendent. There is a vessel. A catalyst. Find solace. That he will be aware.
And so you said that the javelin is through his leg, but it's been
Cauterize
cauterized
and
now.
burn into it.
So, holding him up.
Sure. I just want to interrupt you real quick. We're gonna get to that. You're good. You can stop. You right there, right when you're holding him up. This is Pernua's spear. Pernua has been doing her best to stay out of this for this moment.
I thought the spear already went all the way through.
No, he's still the metal head was pinned and sticking out of his leg because he was like sitting on the floor, and then you started to pull him up. The spear is like 8 feet
Yeah,
long.
I thought he pulled it all the way out.
No, and so he's holding him up unless you can pull him like 10 feet up.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
using it as a handle while
Yeah.
questioning him. So,
So anyway, Pernua watches this. Oh, I have to make sure. Yeah, Pernua watches this. She turns around, and she coughs up a bit of coagulated blood, like as if she's heaving and lurching and throwing up, like and splats it up against the wall, and turns around and like scowls and pulls her mouth across, and all of you are super involved except for you. You hear the faintest whisper come from Pernua's mouth. Enough. You don't hear her.
Do I hear it?
What?
I think you
With
and
my
I are.
23 perception?
No,
What are you doing?
You're in this thing.
Like, seriously, what are you doing?
You say, so this is all going to happen very, very fast. You could pick up exactly where you left off, okay? Because this is all happening very, very fast. You stay, what are you doing? Pernua, in one fluid motion, goes over to her spear, like right where his leg is, and she snaps the spear off to free him, so that the force that you are applying to pull him up, like, frees him out of it. All this happens
he'll
in like
just
bullet
fall,
time.
correct?
Yeah, he'll just fall if you let him go.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'll just hold him up because you're pretty fucking strong. So continue off right where you left off. And I want to urge you not to change what it is that you're going to say. But if you do, it's totally fine.
Well, so what I was going to say is I was going to use Eleazar's foot to break the lower half of the spear.
Okay, so this is actually really cool.
So, yeah.
So, Pernua turns around, spews, wipes the coagulated blood from the thing, whispers in the faintest whisper, enough. And she starts to get slightly lower as she's like also in shock. She's a mother. You start to protest verbally, loudly. This is all happening. She goes up, snaps the top part of her own spear off in a very fluid motion. You kick the bottom of the spear off. All of that kinetic motion and that potential motion causes this guy to, for the moment, be kind of suspended in space, weightless, not connected to basically anything except for what you're holding him with. What is your intention in this moment?
When I hear Trishini,
All this is happening in bullet time
Right.
too.
when I hear her say that in that tone of voice, it affects me. And so I just pause from what I wanted to do. And I look over at her.
We had a
And I
bet.
can
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
and I can see the hurt in her face. And it just bothers me. And so I'll just pause.
You hear the snapping. If that causes you to look up, you can see this. But please respond.
We are better than this. We can show mercy, and we are so much better than this. What happened to all of you? Seriously. I don't understand why. I mean, I get he's a terrible person, and he did so many things, but we have also done terrible things. And would you want somebody to do that to us? I don't think so, or anybody else. Why are you doing this? Think. Please.
When I heard Pernua say enough, I'm going to cast Branding Smite on my pistol, and I scamper up behind him.
Roll stealth check.
You okay?
18.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
19. Eliezer, what's your passive perception?
10.
Okay.
Cole is a creature driven.
So I think only the two of you notice him then. You're gonna mercy kill him?
Yep.
Okay. Roll an attack roll at disadvantage. Melee, ranged weapon, melee range.
14.
14. That's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. How much hit points did you give him?
11.
Okay.
What's my bonus? +6, right? Yeah, +6. So 23.
23. Okay. I'm going to narrate how this happens. I'm going to do my best not to be too gruesome about it.
It was Branding Smite too, so it's a burning, like fire infused magic.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do to come back from it, kind of thing.
Eliezer, I just want to know what would your next course of action be, not knowing really any of this.
Hearing the hurt in her voice, I just started to have memories about when my mother was suffering and just from a child. And so almost like a tear that's kind of like ice cold rolls her down his face. And he was going to set him down.
Okay. Please roll me just a charisma check
Okay.
at advantage. Roll d20, add your charisma modifier, roll twice, tell me the higher one.
$16.
16. That's the advantaged one? The total?
Am I looking there or there?
Saving throw or just
Check.
charisma?
Check.
Yeah,
Ability
so-
check.
Yep.
16?
16.
Okay, cool. Okay. You set him down. You start to sneak up.
Can I
Lot.
sense that he's coming? No, I can't, huh?
Yeah, he rolled pretty high in his stealth, so you don't notice him.
Right.
And you're also distracted by Trisheni.
Yeah, and I'm too much in the moment to do anything to try to.
Most of you are distracted by Trisheni in this moment, as she is kind of forced self-introspection upon you in this moment. You begin to set him down. You all look away at Trisheni. You hear a first one to look back is Eleazar. Or no, the first one to see it is Trisheni, because all of you are turned around to look at Trisheni, and
I'm looking at.
and Ermgrim, Chiron, and Trisheni are the only ones looking at what is actually happening. And so as you are looking at Trisheni, I'm going to say you have the highest passive perception, correct? Because are you guys tied
Yeah.
at 19? Both of you see in the reflection of Trisheni's large eyes the figure of Zemdak sneaking up behind. Because you got 18, right?
19.
19.
I
They have
matched
19.
Yeah.
So they see in the reflection of God, this is so good. They see in the reflection of Trisheni's eyes the slow rise of like a burning, like a red hot pistol that Zemdak holds up to the like the back temple or the like the crown of Klaxon's head. Trisheni, your face like gasps and hails for a moment because there's not enough time for you to do anything. Chiron, you hear there's a move as he like tries to shift his weight to move forward. You and the last thing you two hear is from Ermgrim, like a sigh of relief.
I'm gonna scream no when I see him in the eyes too, like no.
Okay, cool.
And,
So
and
here's
then I can look in her face and I can tell that something's up.
you don't
Can-
have a. So I'll tell you. Sorry. Sorry. You begin to inhale to scream no, but the next thing that happens, this happens at the same time because you don't notice any of this. Your passive perception is too low. You feel something move at the weight of it. The next thing that happens is as you inhale and you're about to say no, but what comes out into the space is instead, which interrupts everything and stops all sound, stops everything as there a blink and a shudder. You feel the jerk in your hand. The first thing you feel before you turn around is that your arm is frozen, like your arm is stiff. You can't move it, and you don't know why. And so the first thing you do is actually what is it that you wanted to do? Because you said you wanted to notice.
Well, yeah,
I don't.
I wanted to try to step in front of it.
I-
Or some.
You didn't. Yeah. So I'm gonna say
And I
like you
know,
fully
I
didn't
know.
notice it. Like he.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I wanted to warding flare him because I had passive perception and reaction.
You weren't looking at him.
I saw the eyes of him.
Yeah,
sneak
we
up.
both saw him in the
True.
reflection.
But I think I'm not going to. I don't think
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it. But
Okay.
I was
Okay.
like,
Because hold on. So let me finish the narration. Here. So you feel the cold around your hand. The first thing you do is that you look down at your arm and your hand, and kind of crawling up the forearm of your hand is like ice, like flash frozen ice, like water moved really really fast and then froze as it was splashing up, and so it's kind of spiky and flowy and it has grooves in it, and your hand and your forearm is like frozen to this individual as there's also like a wave of water that goes around this individual over to the side of his head. And there's this like splash of explosion next to this person's head, and the bullet is frozen in the ice a centimeter from this individual's head. It's branding, yes, I know.
It's radiant.
It's radiant.
Radiant.
That makes this so much fucking better. So not only does it, your pistol's red hot because that's just how it fucking works. Because it's
My
fucking
new
cool.
incantation is make it burn too.
Yeah.
that's
So
what he uses
So you might have heard
there. You don't see like a bullet frozen in the ice next to this individual. You see this like shining, like glowing star-like pellet that is just lighting like an LED lights like inside 2 panes of glass where it just like fills the whole space. It's like doing that to the ice, and the wave is kind of spread across the face in an amorphous, asymmetrical matter, except for the mouth, which slowly utters, "I see. They don't tell you. She forgives." And then the ice begins to crackle and pull around him like a cocoon and like encase him in full ice. You have an opportunity here to pull your hand free if you want, or you can continue to let the ice grow up along you.
So I've got him.
Yeah, you're like
And the
almost up
ice-
to your elbow is frozen into the position that you just had.
And
him
it's
in.
just continuing to go up.
It's slowly beginning to creep up you. Yeah. It seems to be coming from him.
In that moment, having the flashback, hearing Trishini scream the way that she did, if there was any time that he's been alive and just willing to just let whatever happen, it's going to be now. So he'll just close his eyes and stay in the ice.
Yes.
Oh, I'm just waiting for you till I can talk. That's all I'm doing.
Narrator.
Okay, so Zemdak, did you turn your head away, your face away before you fired?
No.
You watched.
Bang.
You see the flash, and the. It's all too fast. It happens all too fast, but you do see this bead of light that you have in there get brighter and brighter, and still starts to starts to spread like cracks that shoot out like rays of this like kind of like cartoon-ish light that's coming from the cracks in hardened magma. And you see Eleazar slowly starting to faster and faster, becoming encased in ice. It starts to grow around him. Eleazar, you put your head back, you close your eyes, and it starts to crawl up your neck and around your head, and is now fully encased. It starts to go crawl across your body, down your arm, completely encase the other hand that holds your shield, as your shield and your is encased with it as well. Your sword still at your hip is the last thing to freeze up, and right before it reaches the runes around the sword, they go as the blue light quickly traces the runes on it. Everybody's in, unless someone has a real good excuse why they're not in shock for this whole thing. Yes.
Well, because I was saying no, I'm gonna walk up and slap the gun, and then I will start.
That's as far as you could go. This all happens in a matter of
Oh,
like
no,
second
I'm waiting
and a
for
half.
that until right after. I'm waiting to talk after it happens.
After he's okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
what I'm waiting for. Sorry, that's
Yeah,
my
okay,
bad.
so then that finishes. Eleazar is fully encased in ice. These cracks continue, and so is Claxon, the individual, like a statue, frozen statue. He's standing up, holding it, and his head is back, and they're both of their heads are back, eyes closed, mouth slightly agape as they just surrender to the ice that is moving around them. And you, just as frozen as the statues that are forming before you, remain still. The first one to move is Cole, who trounces up to Zemdak and slaps the gun out of his hand as the cracks begin to continue across this.
I have a gut reaction.
Sure.
So, like, that was a thing that I did. Can like as soon as I can do something,
Yeah.
let me know.
I mean, I would say after he slaps the gun out of your hand, you regain your composure.
Okay.
Knowing what we know about him and seeing this ice, I want to pull out the one dragon tooth I have left,
Yeah.
and I want to jam it into the ice.
At who?
At Klaxon.
No, at the sword.
Okay.
Okay.
I saw it shimmer and flicker and runes light up. So I want to take that tooth and I want to jam it into the tooth that I carved. See if I can chip the ice. Or it was a spatial dragon. I kind of like, I'm thinking it'll do something
Okay.
spatially to whatever's happening.
Okay. What I'm gonna have you do is that rather than roll an attack roll against this ice, because you're gonna hit it, it's ice, it's thing. I want you to actually roll a strength check to see how deep, if at all, you penetrate this ice.
7.
7. You like get 2 or 3 chips as you start to like try to ice pick in your way. I mean, it's working kind of, but
So I'm not worried about Eleazar.
yeah.
For me, him being encased in ice, like spontaneously,
Sure.
is his patron manifesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just, but physically, this is
is
the best
more
you can
like-
do.
Dragons are doing something, and I want to help.
I
So
understand.
here's
what-
dragon power.
You are unable to
slamming
get
it into
the tooth to
this
contact with
Okay.
the thing because
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
too much ice.
That's
between.
fair.
You try to chip at it, your
Right.
thing, and you don't feel like there's any arcanum at
Connection.
play at
Yeah.
the current moment.
Okay.
It's just not happening right now. Last thing.
Well, no, it's literally what I'm saying as this is happening,
Sure.
kind of thing. As I smack his gun away, I'm gonna start screaming at Zendak, and I'm gonna point at Pernua and go, "That madman has our families, and you interrupt the goddamn questioning of this person. We could have found out more for him."
That's it. That's it.
I know,
That's
no,
all
no.
you get out.
Yeah.
So like, I'm gonna say probably for Trisheni, and you tell me.
what's
I'm
been
just
going on with
trying to do
Log?
some character evaluations.
Well, I mean, Log
For I'll say for some of you, the Cole's screaming is kind of drowned out in that kind of like shell shock, like beep, or like a bunch of your
Tinnitus.
a bunch of your ears are still ringing from the explosion of the gun in a confined,
This isn't that
cavernous,
big of a
echoing stone room
Yeah.
that is reasonably small. So you still have that like stun grenade type of sound.
So for Log, he's seen some crazy shit, and this whole last battle has been crazy shit. So like and he knows that Klaxon is not a good person from the trial of the tavern and all that, just like the way he treated everyone else, and just from everything he knows about. Well, he has his thoughts about who the tall woman was, what the connections are. So for him, it's just been like a lot of indifference to what's been going on. Just this is happening, and he just feels indifferent towards it.
Log has been desensitized.
Yeah.
Does Log feel like, and not character wise, I'm sorry, not player wise, but like, does Log have a meta feeling does he feel a type of way about being conscious that that he is that he has become desensitized to that? Does he feel bad about not feeling?
I think he's like about to start having those thoughts. I think like with Trisheni having her reaction and all this other stuff happening, it's like that would be kind of when
He's starting to ask that question.
You're right.
Cool. Okay. I'll wait till she gets back before we do this because there's some things. So I'm going to narrate this for you. Cole is screaming in a muted fashion because of what you can hear from the blast. We're going to Eliezer, you're not there anymore. You're somewhere else. You're on the top of a mountain, fresh snow falling, 3 feet of snow, almost up to your waist. Well, yeah, you're like 6 foot something, right? You are almost nude, as far as a Drakash can be, really, except for just some swaths, some rags that are draped around your front, your torso, and your bottom, buffeting in the wind. As the wind picks up, and you can feel the stinging of the face of that cold, even against your scales that are used to that type of thing. And you hear from behind you, and you turn around. There's nothing there, but the sound of this, like the sound of extremely large beating wings, just seems omnipresent in the area.
And I keep turning and looking, and I'm looking around and trying to get my grounding, because there's so much. It's like that beating you said is just everywhere, and I'm trying to make sure that my feet are stable, but I'm looking around and just trying to see if I can see anything.
And it's hard. The buffeting is almost pushing you off. You're at the very peak of a very, very tall mountain. You can see large mountain range is continuing throughout, ice and snow, throughout the black and blue and browns of the parts that aren't covered with snow, that are jagged ice and glass-like daggers that stick and are buried partway in the snow, that form these peaks throughout this range. And at some point, maybe about a mile out, your vision just drops off, because it's not quite a blizzard, but it is snowing, and the wind is strong, and you continue to hear these winged beats, and you continue to look around, and then you become conscious of each snowflake that's landing on your skin, and you be conscious that they're not just snowflakes that are landing. I mean, they are snowflakes, but it's each one of them is like singing to you, like saying something, like communicating to you something through touch, almost like a 16th of a fraction of a syllable to you, as each one. And as you feel, it's like you're transcribing this code in the way of your skin is so sensitive in this moment that it can actually sense the very patterns of the very micro patterns of each of the snowflakes. And by doing that, it's almost like the storm, the wind, the snow is talking to you. And the best you can understand it in these disjointed million bits and pieces for each word is your promise is often best served cold. But there was always another edge to the sword. There was always another storm on the horizon. And the wind picks up, stronger this time. There is always another choice to be made. As the voice gets louder and your visibility is now dropped to maybe 10 feet around you, you feel you are on the very peak of a very, very tall mountain that kind of peaks over an area that you can no longer see. And then both stop. And out of the mist comes this large, shiny snout with large, elongated vertical pupils and these yellow-orange irises that just peeks out like a monster from under your bed. the face you always believed in but never knew, of this large, scaly creature. And just the very tip of the head, the snout, the eyes, the crown of the eyebrows, and it gazes at you.
So I want to walk directly over to it and get
You can walk maybe 2 feet before you reach
right.
the precipice.
How close is it to me?
It is just far away that even if you walk to the precipice, you just couldn't reach it.
So I walk over to the precipice, and I just gaze and stare at it.
And it looks at you with its eyes and says, "There's no such thing as pure, even faith. Show me."
I don't understand.
It slowly starts to retreat back into the fog.
And I step towards it.
Off the precipice?
Yep.
You step off the precipice. And you feel a moment of weightlessness as you begin to tumble and fall. As wind begins to sweep by you, you can't see anything as the fog and the snow and the wind is silent, but you still feel it everywhere. And there's a moment where you just get hit by something hard. You pull your face up as you're being pressed down by gravity on something very, very firm but flexible. And you look up and you see that you are in the air atop this pillar of scales. And you're moving quickly, and you regain your composure and you grab onto whatever you can grab on, and you see floating in the sky before you, of which you can't see any more around you because of the fog and the wind and the blizzard, is the form of a confused yet peaceful Klaxon. It looks like he's almost standing on the smallest of clouds, eyes down, contemplative. Choose. You have a thought.
My thought
Go ahead.
was actually to try to reach down and grab him.
You reach down and grab him, or you reach down your hand to grab him, and surprised, this look of confusion looks up at you and at your hand. She doesn't tell you. She forgives. I have to find my way back. Will you take me there?
Yes.
As the final percussive of the sound of the S on the end of yes exits your mouth, even the wing beats are silent. And then all of it comes back all at once. Super loud. And you hear the sound of cracking and ice. The rest of you hear the sound of cracking ice. And it gets louder and louder as more and more cracked ice. Your vision goes into a whiteout. The rest of you see as one of your
Do what
dagger
you're gonna
points
do. I just got him back.
makes impact, and there's I need everybody to roll dexterity saving throw real quick.
I wanted to yell something at someone.
Of course, I had to go slap the gun out of your hand and yell at you right there. Oh, wait.
I wanted
know
to
why I used
yell
to.
at Ermgrim and be like, "You're now just as guilty as Logger."
Sorry.
You're good.
Because I've been at this massive fight in my head between I'm doing this for my friend Ermgrim and he's not doing anything, and Trisheni pulled me out of that.
People suck.
Where do you want to start?
Let's go. Round
was
the
your
corner.
roll?
Go ahead.
13.
13, that's a failure.
17.
That's a success.
Dirty 20.
Success.
8.
Crit, so 23.
Okay, success. You don't have to do it.
I like how the flame priest is hurt by ice. That just makes my day.
Ooh. That's a hot dagger.
So those of you who fail take 7 points of piercing damage. Those of you who succeeded only take 3.
3?
As the the 3. As the shards of ice spray out in all directions.
I'm still hurting from before.
Looks like Ungrim fails. Logren fails.
I got up hit points.
I got hit a few times.
Kyron crits.
Yeah!
Good job, buddy.
He was the only one like in full motion during this whole
Dude's
thing.
becoming a badass.
Yeah. You might just lead this little town yet.
Pernua fails.
I hope not. We just made him the fucking leader.
Megara. Megara gets hit. And so does Armand. Most of you are knocked away. Those of you that do succeed, you have to kind of like dive out of the way in order to move most of it. So most of you are left prone at the very end of this with all these shards. Everything. It's like everybody's jumping away from the center of an explosion. As you begin to recompose yourself and remove your hands from your eyes and look up.
Is he breathing? That would be where I looked.
Eleazar, you're fine. Your wounds have been healed. Not only you're fine, you're not standing on the ground. You are atop a creature. Do you want me to?
Yes.
You feel the warm hair between the gaps in your plates of armor. This soft white down of fur that then extends up the neck, girthier, longer. It's thicker than what you would normally expect from a type of feline or cat of this type. This creature appears to be a very large snow leopard, but its neck is larger and it kind of elongates a little bit longer than it should, making it look somewhat otherworldly and odd. And it's sprouting from the two temples from its head are two massive oxen horns that go along its neck and come down and then curl up. Its ears just peeking out from the other side. Its eyes bright. Its iris is bright yellow and golden and orange and amber with lateral pupils in them. And you stood astride this creature. Cole and Argus, you notice under one of the massive paws of said creature is the Klaxon's metal ring for his harness, and a bunch of the leather has been torn asunder. And that's where we're going to take our break. We'll be back in a little bit, guys. It's been super heavy. What the fuck? Was not expecting on doing this. But we'll be back in a little bit. And as always, stay safe out there.